start.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the post-credit show.
We talk about games and movies and everything else in between that we've done over the past week or so.
Yes, watch. It's good. This one's gonna work. If you like what you see,
go here.
Watch, this is the wrong one.
Subscribe.
It's like the Discord
I
one.
tested it before.
It's a Discord.
Please subscribe. No matter if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube or Mixer.
Whatever floats your boat, or
Yes.
multiple boats.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you.
Multiple boats are good.
Yes, you must build a boat. That's a great game. You must
That's a
build
great
boat.
song.
You must build a boat. It's a mobile game. Yes, it's a match game. It's a great game. Anyways.
But yes, in the post-credit show, we talk about movies we've seen, games we've played,
TV shows we watched.
Yes.
TV shows we've watched.
Although it is a summer season, so it's a
nerd stuff we've done. Yeah, I was gonna say Netflix.
Netflix covers a lot of that, but yeah.
Netflix is my TV. It's just my TV.
Yes.
Yes.
Netflix and
Because
YouTube.
my TV is made for hockey
Netflix,
Yeah.
Netflix and YouTube.
and
me.
football on the island.
And the Food Network, but I don't talk about the Food Network on here because we mostly watch like repeats of stuff.
Although we did talk food last time.
We did talk food
And me and
last
Ross were trying to figure out how we got from God of War to
Yes.
mustard
that's how all the
and
post-credit shows
macaroni,
work.
and
That's
how
how-
we're trying to get there.
Like, I'm sure we're going to have World of Warcraft leading into, like...
No, because
No,
he's going to go on.
cupcakes.
So
his-
speaking of WoW,
Good segue to it.
Let's
It's
wow.
like you meant
Wow!
Okay.
to do that.
I did mean to.
so what happened over the last week, or so for the last
Couple weeks.
You guys
2 weeks.
you guys are more well-versed in this than I am.
we talked about this on the last show because
Thanos came down.
The War of Thorns
Thanos.
started. No. And what happens is Sylvanas, the leader of the undead and leader of the Horde now, she's now in charge of that faction,
Right.
was like, we are going to go and kill Malfurion Stormrage, who is the head night elf dude and head druid on
Okay.
the Alliance side. So she's like, we have to go kill the Alliance because there's this new powerful stuff that's appearing called Azerite. And
Okay.
if the Alliance gets their hands on it, they're going to kill us.
Okay.
Pure and simple fact, she knows that eventually the Alliance is going to go to war with the Horde, and if they are able to amass enough Azerite...
Now, what is Azerite? Is it like
Okay,
magic
so-
stone? Is
Yes.
Super god power.
It's
is it a MacGuffin? Is it the MacGuffin for this expansion pack?
Yes. So what happened was at the end of the last expansion pack, the big boss skewered the world with a giant sword.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you go to this one place, there's a giant sword sticking out of the earth.
Okay.
And the earth is kind of a living being within Warcraft.
Azeroth.
So Azeroth. So Azerite is kind of like the ore that's deep, 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 deep down inside the world. And it's starting to come up because the world is dying. But it is a super powerful
Yeah.
mineral, essentially.
Is this the last World of Warcraft expansion?
No.
No.
Okay.
As long as they still have, over 1 million subscribers, they will never stop making WoW. This is just an excuse to have the factions fight again. So Sylvanas' thing is, at least when she first explains it in the first quest, is we go to war, we're going to preemptive strike, we're going to take out the Alliance before they can get enough of this stuff to do any kind of damage.
Yeah.
Either way, we make our way into the Night Elf territory, we kind of push our way forward. Other stuff, if you've been reading it, talks about how, because everybody's like, why didn't she take airships in? They have flying ships. Essentially what happened in the last expansion, fighting the Legion and all the demons and stuff, all of our airships, essentially we used them all up in an attempt to take out the big bad guys.
Did it work?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, we won with sacrifice.
Yes. We lost a king.
The Alliance lost a king, the Horde lost Vol'jin, the troll who
The
was
war chief.
their leader. He was their war chief first.
Okay.
So either way, lives were lost, etc., etc. That's how...
They traded lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Anduin is now in charge of the Alliance and legitimately just wants peace.
Okay.
He's the king of Stormwind. He's the king of the Alliance. He's like, peace is good, guys. We should totally like peace. And Sylvanas is like, we must make war because eventually that kid is going to go to war with us.
Okay.
So either way, we go through Darkshore. We work our way up. And at the top of Darkshore is a giant tree where all the Night Elves live. That's where their main city is.
Mhm.
And when this whole event kind of started, when you get to the end of it, be it Horde or Alliance, you get a lovely hand-drawn cinematic sort of thing, which is
Okay.
Sylvanas kind of going up to the World Tree, like you can see it from the banks of the shore, because it is kind of in the middle of the water. And she's all like, well, we did our best. We couldn't kill the
Malfurion.
Malfurion guy. So
Okay, so he's still alive.
he's still alive.
Well,
Okay.
he should have been.
He should have been. He
dead.
should have died.
But she
because-
doesn't.
Isn't
know
there like
that,
time
though.
travel in World of Warcraft right now?
Not anymore.
She doesn't know that though,
We're not sure whether she knows that one or not.
because
She
she
left-
logged off and said, "Finish him.
Yeah.
Come catch up."
But we're assuming. Okay, so what happens in the trailer is a night elf is all like, "What happened to you, Sylvanas? You used to be an elf." And then the elf's like, and she's like, "Whatever, we will kill. Like, we've won this day."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "You will never win as long as we have hope." Sylvanas goes into this whole like,
Beast mode?
no, she goes back into like this thought process of when she used to be an elf, and was defending her land against Arthas.
And she saw hope.
And she
disappear.
saw hope when she was that elf, and she ended up dying for it, and Arthas still marched over everything and destroyed it. But as long as people have hope, she knows that they're going to fight. So, she's like, burn the tree down. So they burn the tree down, and if you're on the Alliance side, they give you a quest to save 925 Night Elves. So that's the entirety of all the NPCs in the tree.
So is that a quest that you can't pass?
Correct.
So even if you're in Alliance...
The shtick is, like, I saved 23, 25, somewhere in that range. Like, mid-20s.
Yeah.
And then I pass out, and one of the other people saves me, like one of the NPCs saves me and drags me back to the portal.
Okay.
And it's all like, you almost died back there. Quick, get back to Stormwind. The priestesses of Elune will stay here and save as many people as they can before they die. So essentially, like, we abandon an entire major city and a whole whackload of innocent people
What
die.
people don't really go to anyways.
Well, no, because it's off on the middle of nowhere. So essentially what this does is it splits the two continents, Horde and Alliance.
But
Okay. And
yes,
in
but I
preparation
thought-
for this event, though.
I
Other
thought
than
the
one
Draenei were
Done it.
still,
They are, but
and the Blood Elves
they
are
are,
still.
but no one cares because they're in their own instance zone, so it doesn't really count.
Not really, but
So
okay.
that's essentially what they've done is they've split the continents. What pissed people off was Sylvanas burnt down the tree for no reason other than this elf made her mad. That was kind of the shtick.
Take away hope.
But you mentioned, like, it's a lot more than just that.
Now, if you got the collector's edition of WoW, which I didn't get, but because they stopped doing good things in those for the longest time.
I don't really need a medallion or whatever.
See, I like the medallion, but I used to like the art books and used to get the soundtracks and like used to get stuff.
Yeah, now it's
And
all
then they
digital stuff.
And now it's mostly digital, and then they put in like cards when the trading card game was big.
Oh, I like that.
Except the trading card game sucked.
Oh, it
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have it. We can play it.
Okay. I like that.
I can find it, but I have it.
You don't, you don't
Um,
want that.
Either way, I stopped buying them. But in one of those is a little novella, like a little book.
Yeah.
And in it, she's talking to Sarfang, who is the orc who we saw in the newest cinematic, where he's like upset because that was a dishonorable thing to do, killing all those innocent people. And he goes, "Why did you do something like that?" And she goes, "Because we had to do it. We had to take away their hope. We had to be the first people to strike." And he goes, "All they want is peace. Like, what's wrong with you?" And she goes, "They want peace right now." And she's like, "Will they want peace in another 5 years? Like another year, another 5 years, another 10 years? Like, how long?
So she's just being
How long does this last?"
preliminary.
She's trying to strike before.
And he's like, "Well, you don't know that." And she goes, "I know." And if you watch in that other cinematic I showed you, that werewolf,
Mhm.
he hates Sylvanas. Sylvanas killed his son. Sylvanas almost killed his wife. There's a big grudge.
I get that.
He
That's
hates
that-
the
that makes
undead.
sense.
Either way, he's the second in command, essentially, in Stormwind, to Anduin, to that king.
Okay.
So she's like, with him whispering in his ear, eventually that kid is going to grow up to be a man, and that man is going to come after us. So before that happens, we're just going to wipe him out.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, so there was strategy to... Because that was everybody's problem, was there was no strategy to what she did. She got mad, she went evil, she burned down a tree.
But that's the thing. Where she's trying to take away hope. She didn't. She just united them even more.
Yes?
But the thing
You
is, that
did.
if I
You
were
did.
on the Horde side, I would see that and go like, "Wow, that's a dick move."
But Saurfang.
And Saurfang did, which was the newest cinematic, which, like, I linked in our Discord, or our WhatsApp thing, where it was like,
Yeah.
he takes off his armor because he's like... So here's the thing with Saurfang that you have to know.
Okay.
He is a hero from Warcraft.
Okay.
Like the original.
The original. He came through the dark portal.
Oh, he's...
Okay, you don't. But there's no mention of him.
No, because Warcraft, the first game, had like...
No, but even in 2, you don't...
No, he was
hear
just a
about
warrior.
him.
He was just a
He
warrior
rose up
back
through
then.
the ranks.
Yeah. So by Warcraft 3, like, he was a big piece of that war. Not in the game.
Okay.
Go back to the novels and all the extra lore
Okay.
stuff that they've added. He was a big piece of it. And then coming up through World of Warcraft, he's been even bigger. Like, his son got taken by the Death Knights, and he had to kill his own son. And
No, was it? I thought he was... His son died by Arthas at the Wrathgate.
He did, and then Arthas raised him as an undead.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then had them fight. So we had to fight Sarfang's son, and then there's a whole thing where Varian shows up, and he's like, "Take that, like, you filthy orc."
Yeah.
And Sarfang's all like, "My boy," like, and Varian's like, "I'll give you 5 minutes, like, grab your son and clear out." And that's why Sarfang does have a respect for the Alliance, because he knows that
There's honor there.
there's honor, and that's always been the orc's shtick is
even
honor.
in the quest line for this.
Yes. His whole shtick is honor. So he almost kills Malfurion and is
Yeah.
left to give the killing blow, and he goes, "There's no honor in this kill." Like,
I struck at him when he didn't see
yeah,
me.
there's no go of this. So that's what the cinematic was there was no honor in anything they did.
That's
They
why
killed-
that's why he was taking all his armor
They
pieces
killed a
off.
bunch of innocents. They did a bunch of this, and that's what they did. So he was just like, peace. He's like, I want a warrior's death. So he started taking off, like, the majority of his armor. And he was going to go face the Alliance, which was headed towards Lordaeron, to get a warrior's death. So essentially he was going to go against an army all by himself.
Well, he should have done it.
To be fair, knowing Sarfang and his lore, he would have taken out, like, an eighth of that army before they took him
Zappy
down.
said, "You've taken out 10 guys with one blow."
Cleave.
Yeah.
That's the best part. He's a warrior, and he has the move.
Which is it
Arms. Cleave. It hits a bunch of enemies at the same time. His is just powerful enough it kills 10 people
at
once instead of just, like, doing damage to 10 people. Either way,
So
yes,
what
we
you're
get
saying
that
is
lovely.
with the healer, he could be even better.
By the
Yes.
sounds of it, from what I'm hearing,
Yes.
there will be, because of that whole thing. Even though he's fighting with her in the launch trailer
Yeah.
for Battle for Azeroth, there will be dissension within the Horde because of what she did.
I kind of get that, but then you watch the launch trailer, and someone brought this up on Reddit, but, when she screams for the Horde,
Yeah.
he's like, he's got 3 arrows
But
in him.
that's
and he's
because
still
it's inspired by Zappy.
to a point, but at the same
But-
time, in that scene, Sylvanas risks herself to take out a majority of stuff, and she's not just fighting for the undead anymore, she's fighting for the Horde.
I don't know. I see dissension.
So
coming.
If dissension comes,
why is there
people
so
are
much
gonna-
plot for the Horde? That just it feels imbalanced. There should be an alliance portion of, like,
But
why?
they're all united. They got their.
Yeah, they have no problems.
So what you're saying is if I join,
They were the good
WoW,
guys.
I should be on the alliance side.
If you don't want no drama.
That's kind of the shtick right now is people.
But I see the drama coming in Jaina.
Yeah, Jaina will be the piece. So she's a human who.
I recognize that name from HOTS.
Yes, she is one of the characters in
Okay.
Heroes of the Storm. She was one of the heroes in Warcraft 3. So she was with Arthas. Like, she was pretty much Arthas' girlfriend. Like, she was the love interest. The Lich King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he went bad, and she's all like, "Oh my god, like the love of my life," and da 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 da. And then she met Thrall, and Thrall's all like, "We are honorable people." Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, "Oh, that's pretty neat."
Thrall sounds like a villain.
Thrall was a good
Thrall's
guy.
the good guy. He's the leader of.
He's
He started
disappeared.
the Horde.
I would not be surprised if he comes back.
Yes. To a
Yeah.
point. I'm assuming
No,
he'll
no,
come back.
he'll
to
come
talk
back
to Jaina.
to talk.
Is Jaina
Talk to
alive?
Jaina. or-
Jaina's alive, except here's the shtick. Thrall left another orc in charge of the Horde, and he went to become, like, super shaman.
Okay.
And that orc that he left in charge mana bombed, so dropped a nuke on her. Like, she had a town, I guess.
Called to us.
Theramore.
Okay.
So she had her own place in WoW where she was kind of in charge of.
Mm-hmm.
And she was all like, "I'm trying to make peace between the Horde and the Alliance." And Garrosh was like, "No!" Bombs it and kills, again, countless innocent people. And Jaina's all like, "The Horde is evil, and they are all evil, and I will get my revenge." And she just disappears.
Oh, so it was
She's coming back because her dad was the leader of
The Navy.
Kulturas, which is
So she'll
where
be in
we're
this
going.
upcoming expansion as
Yeah.
like a surprise character.
Not even. She had her
Yeah.
own video.
I have
already.
yeah, hers is. I like that song.
I don't follow this game.
There's been a lot of extra cinematics for this game already.
I see Thrall coming back, maybe not to talk to Jaina, but to take back the Horde.
I don't see that. I honestly
and Saurfang
think
would back him up, though. Well, Saurfang might not back him up because Saurfang liked Garrosh.
I see Saurfang getting more in line with Sylvanas as we learn more of Sylvanas' strategy of stuff.
I don't see it.
So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, people online are incredibly divided as to, like, we're just getting another Garrosh, where we're getting another war chief who just wants war for the sake of war. To that point,
but in a way, though, I do see that point because
the preemptive strike works.
Yes, but that's starting a war when there is no war.
Here's the shtick if you've read the book, and this is where, if you're gonna get upset about the lore, read all the lore.
I don't want to have time to read all of it.
Ain't anybody got time for
But in the book, she goes, the Horde can recover quicker from this battle we just had with these demons.
Because we go through war chiefs anyways. We've been used to this.
Well, no, it's like, she's like, we can recoup because we're stronger as a group. Like, the orcs are stronger, the Tauren are stronger, the undead are weaker in the books, which makes no sense. Like, they pretty much just fall apart like zombies, but they can be patched back together. So that works out. The Horde can come together faster than the Alliance can recoup. So that's her shtick is, we're going to get ourselves back together quicker, we're going to go after them, and we're going to just obliterate them because they're not ready for war yet.
But they are.
Yes.
Come that into that.
Right.
Cinematic. They are ready.
Right. So we'll, like...
They just didn't want to.
Correct.
To force their hand.
So that's kind of what Sylvanas was.
Civil war.
So Sylvanas did have a plan going in. It's very complicated right now, and that's the thing is people watched that one animated thing and were like, Sylvanas is just, she's not even thinking strategically, she's just upset because the Night Elf made fun of her. So she burned down the tree.
I think she always had that plan regardless.
She didn't. She says if you do the Horde one, she says I didn't come here with the intent to burn the tree down, she just wanted to kill Malfurion. But she's like, I understand now, this is something we had to do. And it's like,
because getting rid of Malfurion, either way, you get rid of Malfurion or you get rid of the tree, you unite. Well, if you get rid of Malfurion, you like the...
To a point.
You would get someone in the Night Elves can be like, okay, we got to get revenge.
If you want to get lore-wise, though, we just took out, if you're Horde, a bunch of Night Elves.
The
and their
tree
support
thing,
base.
The tree fighter thing, right?
Yeah. Like, we just killed most of the priestesses of Elune.
They'll rebuild. Because she's that...
Tyrande's still around.
Yeah, she was the leader of them.
I know, but there's none left. Like, there's her.
She'll get them.
That's supposed to be kind of the shtick, is like, we did take out a major faction of... Or, you know, group of people.
They weren't huge.
Well, the Night Elves were they were the ones that saved everybody in Warcraft 3 sort of thing. Like, they were a power base. You've taken out one of the power bases.
Now you gotta go after Stormwind, you gotta go after Ironforge, you gotta...
Yep. That's her plan. Then this kind of, again, we're leading up to a big fight between the two people. And either way, the biggest piece to this was people were threatening Christy Golden, who's the author of the last book, and she's now one of the head writers for the next expansion. They were threatening her because they're like, what kind of junk writing is this?
Yeah, but it's writing.
You deserve to die. And she goes, they made these videos before I came along. She's like, so here's my suggestion. Wait for the actual expansion to launch in a couple weeks.
There must be more to this.
There's more to it. So Chris Metzen, who also used to be like the head guy at Warcraft, also said, like, guys, if you want my advice, just wait. He's like, not that I know what's coming, but I know that team. Like, chill.
I'd be curious to who the final end game.
I really hope it's not Sylvanas. Like, I don't want to fight Sylvanas.
But that's where I said the other day, though. I have a feeling that maybe for the Alliance, that's what your end game is. For the Horde, your end game is Jaina.
So it'd be interesting if that's the route they took. I feel like
two different end games.
I know, but then which one becomes lore?
Both.
Unless they both.
Both.
They're happening at the same time.
You have to fight both Jaina and Sylvanas at the same time.
And that might be it. Either way, in those big ending battles,
don't bring Sylvanas' sisters in.
And then Sylvanas will wear the helmet from the Frozen Throne.
Read the comic, man.
Read it again.
Well, in Tyrion, in issue 14,
but they were trying to convince her to stop what she's doing.
Essentially, what happens was her sister, or one of her sisters, doesn't like her because she's undead and will barely talk to her because she's undead. And the other sister is the one stuck in the middle, like, guys, let's not fight. So
That sister needs to step in.
she probably will. We're gonna get more of the Windrunner sisters.
Are we?
Oh,
Maybe.
we're also going to get more of Rexar from this expansion too, because they just redid his model. The half orc, half ogre. He was in the Warcraft 3 expansion.
Why are an orc and an ogre getting together? That's
Garona was a half orc, half something.
half human.
Yes.
No, he was
I know.
half human.
Sure.
Somehow.
Yes. Before they met humans.
You don't question
They
this.
didn't know. I stopped.
Because she
asking
time
questions.
traveled.
No, she came through with one portal and then the second portal. I don't know.
I know.
She
WoW.
time
That's not
traveled.
good. Sure.
I know how to WoW.
There's time travels now.
There is.
I know.
Isn't it?
That's what
Didn't
the
the
time dragon
wasn't that the
is.
last expansion?
expansions, yeah. Yeah.
Time
Really?
dragon.
2 expand? I don't.
Well, no.
Four
even
Lords of Draenor.
Even in the one I have with the dragonflight, there is
Oh
a
yeah,
time
the
guy.
Bronze Dragonflight messes with time, but the Bronze Dragonflight is really there to
Keep
make
time
sure
in
time
mind.
is intact.
So it doesn't blow up.
Yes. So you don't,
So
you know,
time-
timey-wimey your way into a like the
I
universe.
was trying to, like,
imploding.
now that I'm in that area,
Time
I'm
Stone.
kind of getting a idea again of who the dragons are and what they do,
the aspects.
Time Stone.
but which are not around anymore.
No, because they pretty much sealed
Sacrifice their
They
powers.
sacrifice their powers to an extent. They're still
Time
They're
Stone.
still around.
Time Stone.
pretty much. Either way, that's where WoW's kind of sitting. We've been playing WoW, so you finished this quest line to the point where it is until Tuesday. We get
Yes,
the
I
next.
did.
We get
So
the
you're
next
up to date.
piece.
You're
Till
up to date.
Tuesday, and then I'm gone Wednesday, so I better be hustling.
You better hope everything's
Tuesday.
up on Tuesday.
Well, it should be.
It
Their
won't.
patches are pretty early.
Yeah, their patches are.
mornings,
Their
like-
patches have been pretty good, which is why they do the pre-patch to make sure they kind of
Because I'm leaving Wednesday.
work stuff out till the expansion.
Till
comes in.
pretty much Sunday or Monday.
If it helps, you've got the mount. So we all got a mount for finishing burning down a tree.
I got a giant bat.
Is it a giant burning?
No, it's a giant bat.
Oh.
It's a giant bat.
And on the Alliance side, it's a hippogriff.
Aww.
Because
That's
you're
awesome.
a night elf fighting for the night elves.
That's cute.
It's a purple knight, or it's a purple hippogriff with black armor.
Aww. I want that.
Pretty cool.
I'm
Well,
out.
then you have to join WoW right now and finish this. 'Cause
You have to level your guy to 110. And then,
well, you know, because if you buy
Automatic.
the game, you
Yeah,
can up,
automatic.
you know, because it's only available for the next 2 weeks. It's one of those. It's for this event.
Yeah.
To say you were there.
There'll be something else this week, I think.
I think so. I think we'll get us
I
something.
don't know what.
I don't know either.
A weapon.
Either way,
Weapon.
something to look
God,
pretty.
wow.
Yeah, no, you won't.
Yes.
Either way,
I did that quest.
I've been enjoying the pre-patch stuff a little bit.
So
like the,
I don't-
what I appreciate, not that I play WoW at all, but
Yeah.
what I appreciate about them in this world that they're building is that they're always adding patches of content here and there, so they're blurring the lines of what an expansion really is. Because even though up to this point, what was the last one, Legion?
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Even though Legion has been out for so long, they're always adding story content. They're always adding stuff until
yeah.
until the
DLCs, essentially.
Well,
free DLCs. I
Free
guess.
DLCs.
And
But-
that's
and then the expansion comes out, but it's like it's this
the story
fluid-
evolves during an
it's
expansion.
it's just this fluid like from last expansion to this expansion.
Yep.
And I really do appreciate that. As much as I don't play WoW, I think that I love that concept, and especially in a
Their-
giant world building game. That's
yeah, their
so
first
cool.
expansion was essentially like we're just going to create a new world
Yeah.
and
Go.
go.
I remember Pandora was like that too. Pandas, go! We found the pandas.
Northern was kind of like that.
Kind of, but it added to the story, like it evolved the story, and then Cataclysm came out because they're like, we have to redo the original world that we first did, and the only way of doing that is
Destroyed.
destroying it.
Okay, Thanos.
Right, so they did. They brought in a big giant dragon and they destroyed the world, and
Because
without
he was the Earth.
aspect of the
Aspect.
Earth. Yeah. So,
Or was he death? No, he wasn't death.
No, he was called Death.
Is there
Wings.
ever like this overarching like story that they're always building towards in WoW? Or is
Yeah,
it
we just finished that.
or is it? Oh, okay.
So Sargeras and the Legion were always trying to kind of kill everybody. We just killed Sargeras.
Okay.
So that story, like their main overarching story that they've had since Warcraft, all the way through the
It's
last,
done now.
is now done. Which is why everybody's like,
You need new stuff.
that's why they're kind of pissed off at this story, because they're like, you're just doing like faction wars again for the sake of faction wars because you have nowhere else to go because you just killed off the biggest bad that we've ever had.
Do you actually fight him though?
Yeah,
You actually
Apparently.
fight Sargeras?
I guess so.
Not by the not
Did
judging
you
by
not-
the cinematic.
Do you not fight?
The other things that were with Sargeras that are just
I guess
powerful
so.
with him pulled him back. And
And
his
that's
final
all.
thing was...
To be fair, every raid boss we've ever fought as the final boss has never actually died. In Burning...
Illidan.
Illidan got locked up. Arthas
Arthas died, but
someone else
replaced.
put the helmet on.
Cataclysm.
Deathwing got trapped in the dragon soul.
Wait, so that dragon's still around?
Pandaria.
He's stuck in a rock.
Pandaria.
Okay, we took out the...
Grosh, who was the main...
Yes, we took out Grosh. My bad.
Sorry, he's dead.
He's not. He's a statue.
They didn't get mummified.
We turned him into a statue.
He's dead.
He's not dead. They could bring him back.
You petrified him?
Petrified him.
What was after Pandaria?
Warlords of Draenor. And if that...
Who was the final boss on Gul'dan?
Gul'dan, who escapes through the dark portal.
But doesn't he come back in Legion?
In Legion.
Does he die
I
there?
think so. I think we find
Because
out.
I was going to say, Gul'dan is still somewhere out there.
I don't think he's actually dead either.
Technically, no one dies. It's like the Marvel Universe.
I was just gonna say, how does this work? Like, is there like an overarching universe that?
If it helps demons can't be killed, they only get sent to the Nether.
Okay.
So that's kind of their shtick.
But like, is there ever like some overarching MacGuffin that everyone's kind of working towards?
The old
against?
gods now, I guess.
There's
Because
rumors
the MCU's
that,
has the Infinity stuff. And
that the enemy will actually be the light.
Right.
Because there's no darkness now, the light will be the evil thing. Because it will try and possess everyone.
The light kind of had its dark side, and I think that still exists to a point, but
Where?
it's not necessarily the demons that brought the darkness. It's just if there's light, there has to be like there's.
it has to
So
be balanced.
right now there's no darkness other than the Horde.
They're not evil, man. It's a shade of gray.
But they just burned a
Yeah,
tree.
that's just,
That's,
So that was
that's the
But
discussion right now. That's not great.
that's the
anymore.
biggest discussion. Is Blizzard told us it was going to be a shade of gray. Like the Horde isn't bad.
Okay.
The Horde is just it's a different outlook. And then Sylvanas burnt down the tree, and everybody's like, "That's a fancy shade of gray you've got going."
That's
seems
a
real
really
black.
That's a real dark.
Dark, that's
shade
a
of
dark shade of gray. As the Alliance is like, we want peace. But I think that's where, if we do get another cinematic, we'll get Gen Greymane, the werewolf guy, doing something, going like, because he was pissed if you play the Alliance side of that pre-patch.
Yeah.
He comes through the portal from Stormwind because his wife is in Teldrassil that they burned down.
It's just,
Wait,
And he's
his
like-
wife is dead now too?
No, he
So-
saved her, but she
so
wanted to stay
Sylvanas is
behind.
going after her again. His family.
She wanted to stay behind to get as many people through
Oh,
the
okay.
portal, and he's like, "No, I am not losing you too. Like I lost my son.
All right.
Like our son, I already lost it. No, because you did. If you didn't play the Alliance side, you didn't get this.
No, the son dying. I think I was.
Oh, that was part of the. If you play a werewolf, that's the opening story.
Yeah, but when I was at a lower level with the current
Yep.
guy I have, I think that was part of it, though, from the Horde perspective.
Yeah, could have been. Could have been the attack on Gilneas and all that stuff. Either way, like Gen really hates Sylvanas, so I feel we might get the opposite kind of something there. Is him
I
going?
think we get
like,
a couple videos because this was 2 videos in a week.
I know.
So you might get way.
The only
I was
reason we
just
got
gonna
this,
say-
the only reason we got this video is because it showed up at China Joy, like a con in China. So
I think you'll see.
I just feel like the promotional materials that have been out so far have been very
It's picked up again.
negative towards the Horde.
this
It
one
is.
was the
And it-
redeeming one to the Horde. Was Sarfang being like, this wasn't honorable, and then the troll going like, well, the Horde is still the Horde. Like without it, where are we, man? Like we're just separate groups
honor
of
or
people.
no honor.
Yeah, we're still the Horde. We have to be there for each other. And Sarfang's like, oh,
Live another day.
Darn
with
it.
No honor.
no, it was no armor. Everybody keeps
No. I thought you said honor.
it's armor because he's like,
It wasn't Starfang that said it. Was Zappy that said it.
yeah, it was no armor at the end.
No, I'm not talking.
Oh, that part, yeah.
when
yeah,
they were
yeah, yeah.
when he followed him out and
Yeah.
said no honor.
Yeah.
But we still need you.
Yeah.
So
Well, because without him, without the Horde, some of these
that's
people
the
have nowhere
orc
to
connection.
go. Yes. So.
That was Sarfang or has nothing.
And to be fair, the undead of someone's like, this is out of character for Sylvanas, and then you go to where she destroyed South Shore, which was an Alliance camp, and she destroyed
What?
everything she's done, she's just destroyed.
She seems like a real bad dude.
She is. This is the point. The Horde are not good people.
Are you guys?
Well,
don't you guys play on the Horde?
Yes,
both
but
suck.
they're saying that maybe Sylvanas is losing touch with her humanity.
Which is also present in the book.
She's losing.
Again,
She's turning
they
more
expect
dark.
people to read every piece of literature, right?
If you want to get upset, or you have to read all the quest text in the game. A lot of the stuff from the book
I
is
don't.
in quest text, and a lot of people just hit accept and do the quest.
Right.
But then they get upset by the video that they show.
I wasn't upset by it. I was
No.
shocked
Yeah, and that's... Yes, you had the correct...
that she would do such a thing.
Right, you're like...
Why am I following her again?
And that's
No, I didn't have that issue.
Right.
I want to change.
Really, if anybody on the Horde was going to lead...
And burn down a tree.
Well, no, if anybody was going to lead the Horde after Fulgen was gone...
Yeah.
It was her, because she's kind of been around, other than Sourfang, she's been around the longest.
Yeah. Well, and if it helps, as Vol'jin was dying, his Loa, so his god that he prayed to, was the one that pointed and said, like, it says you're the next war chief. Here's the next shtick.
Yeah.
His Loa was the Loa of death. So whether it gave good advice or not, his god that he prayed to as he was dying was like, she's the next war chief. Promote her.
Like, you can't give it to the Tauren person, because he's barely been around.
No, because Karen died.
If Karen was still around...
Give it to Karen. Except
Absolutely.
then you would get no expansion ever.
That's true.
I will lead us to a world of peace.
Yes. He would be with Anduin, and...
Yeah.
Hey.
It'd be a pretty cheap expansion.
Go shake hands with someone from the opposite faction.
Give him a crisp high five.
Either way, that's kind of where we're sitting on that one. So I've been playing WoW.
Yeah.
I've been playing Parkitect.
Architect.
Parkitect, which is the actual management game to instead of Planet Coaster like I've been talking about. I ran into some issues, which is kind of the cool piece that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you in that corner. The cool part about this one was, like, I wanted to rebuild my park.
Mhm.
So I went into the scenario manager to build a blueprint for something, because you can still build blueprints. And that just kind of helps you build a ride with all the scenery, and then you can save it so you know how much it's going to cost to plunk it into your park, instead of
Yeah.
Yeah.
building it and then erasing a bunch of pieces, and building it and erasing a bunch of pieces because you don't have the money.
Uh-huh.
This one you can go like, okay, if I save up this much, I can put this in my park. So I built something there, I put it in my park, but that subsequently destroyed a good portion of my park.
Did you put it over your old park?
I destroyed 2 rides.
That sounds like what it happens.
I destroyed 2 rides to put it in because I wanted to revamp my park, and instead of restarting, I'm like, I'm going to challenge myself, and
This is the picture I imagine. Kick, 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 kick.
pretty much. So I got rid of, I had a big castle in the middle of my park, and not like the Disney castle. Mine was like a square with a merry-go-round in it, and then a really long piece where a roller coaster was. So I got rid of that castle, and
Okay.
I put down this new section, which is actually the hub, like where people
Yeah.
go into different parts of the park from. The problem was I had built the hub in a different place, so I subsequently have to move my park this way slowly. But I killed off a large portion. Like, I killed 2 rides. I
Yeah.
put a new ride in, but then I my park was too spread out at that point, and I had people just meandering into different parts. I found out a way to close different parts of my park off to people. Like, you put signs up that say no guests.
Yeah.
I fired some people because now I was like down an entire land. So I fired some people because I was
Aren't
just
you responsible for finding your own land and making?
well, no, like I
Or
like not
how does
actual
that-
land. Like, I had created, so I had like space and pirates and kind of a fairy tale haunted section.
Okay.
The haunted section kind of started losing, like, I had built a ride, but it was really far off, so people were walking all the way to this ride to ride the ride, but then they were tired and there was no food close to them and nowhere to, like...
Mm.
So they went on one ride and left the park. Essentially was the shtick.
Wow, they paid for entrance fee for one ride.
And then they paid for the ride.
And
And then they left, except
Charge
No
the
for food.
bathrooms.
maintaining
No food.
everything else was costing way too much money, so I closed that side of my park off just to stop people from walking that far. And then I fired some people. So there's the management side where I was losing money, and I'm like, why am I losing money? So you're looking at spreadsheets of like,
Why am I paying Bob just to stand there?
right, why am I paying a janitor to clean a section of the park that no one's going to go to?
Super clean.
Gone.
Super clean.
So when it come back,
I cleaned it.
You've now just
Before
like
I-
ruined
Super clean.
Bob's like future.
So either way, I did
Monster.
that. My pirate section, I had it too spread out. Like, I had all the stuff that was too spread out.
Yeah.
And so I got rid of all the spread outness, and I've kind of packed my park in a little bit more, and now I'm making profit. So.
What?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, good. So either way, yeah, Parkitect, cool like management system because I actually had to go through.
Did you? I can't remember. Did you charge for bathrooms?
No, I never started. I never.
You can charge for bathrooms.
You can charge.
Fantastic.
All right.
Which is actually a very European thing to do.
There's when I was in San Jose, they did that too.
Yeah.
But it makes it. Yeah.
$1 a pee.
No. You pay and it opens.
Yeah. So essentially,
it's a way of deterring vagrants.
Yeah, and in Europe, like in Paris, they have like a bathroom stall on the street sort of thing, and you pay to go into it, and then you do your business, be it 1 or 2, and when you leave, it sprays the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Like it sanitizes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like that.
So that's why you pay for it, is because it's
to clean
to
it,
keep it
and
clean
prevent homeless people from
and
sleeping in it.
essentially, yeah.
Like the one from on White House.
So it's kind of the shtick is I understand having bathrooms.
$1 for number 1, $2 for number 2.
Yeah, they don't care about
Did
that.
paper towel? We want more.
My one buddy still has the best story about that one when he was in Paris because he was there on an exchange way back in high school, and he paid to go into the bathroom.
And locked him in.
No, and he went and did his business, and then he opened the door, and one of the guys he was with was like, "I'm not paying to use the can," so he jumped in before the door closed.
Yeah.
Except as soon as you jump in and the door closes, it sprays. And it locks the door while it's spraying. Right, so that's all you hear from the inside is like, no! Banging on the door as it sanitizes them. And obviously it's not like it's poisonous or anything, but...
For that reason.
Yeah, because there's idiots involved. But other than that, I started playing Chroma Squad again.
Superheroes.
So yeah, you make your own Power Rangers. They're the stunt doubles of the Power Rangers.
Okay.
That's the storyline, is they're the stunt doubles, they do all the fighting scenes, and then you go, this is stupid because we just keep getting bad direction and we're getting, like, barely paid anything because the stars just sit over there and da-da-da. We can start our own show. So the stunt doubles start their own Power Rangers show.
Okay.
And you are in charge of them and the studio that they produce their show on. So the levels are episodes. And it's a very makeshift thing. Like, the first bad guy they fight for the first season is a guy with, like, a traffic cone on his head and a street lamp as a weapon.
Okay.
Like, it feels very Power Ranger-y in that
yeah,
sense.
Yes.
You also have to either buy or craft their costumes. So it's an RP. It's a strategic RPG type game. So the armor they're wearing...
Everything relates back to, like, viewership.
Yes, and it's their health and this and that. And you can also improve your studio. So the better camera you have, the more audience you'll get for making an attack on a bad guy.
Okay.
They also give you director's notes. So defeat all the minions before you beat the boss.
But if you don't?
Then you just lose viewership.
Okay.
Not that you lose it, you just don't gain a bonus.
Oh, okay.
Defeat the bad guy with a group attack, like a group finish. So you have to get all 5 of your Power Rangers around the
grid-based system.
And it's
right?
a grid-based system. So you
grid-based
got to get all 5 of your guys around. 4 of them have to have like the partnership move attached to them, and then the last guy attacks and they do one like ultimate move. The partnership thing also allows you to you can hit it and they'll launch each other so you can move people further and do all the acrobatic type stuff, which also gives you viewership. So the more acrobatic you are in fights, the better you are, the more money you make essentially.
Yeah.
You can hire a marketing team, so you pay them money, but you gain more money the more people who are watching your show.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while there's a Megazord fight, which they improved. From the last time we've played. There was a big update. They improved the whole Zord fighting. You can actually improve your Zord by, again, crafting new things. So you need cardboard boxes and duct tape and all that stuff, and you get it by beating bad guys.
It's actually it's a meta.
It's a very meta show. Like, they know what they're doing.
Meta show and
subsequently,
meta
I'm also being sued by the director and creator of the original show that we left.
And that's on the computer?
It's everything, I think.
I don't know.
Or would you play it on?
I played it on the computer. I have it on PC. It's an easy to play PC game.
Yeah, everything's
runs, mouse,
and it's very low system requirements.
Yeah,
so.
it's a pixel game kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a very cool looking game though. It's pretty sweet. I've made it farther than I ever had. I kind of usually make it through the first season, and then I'm like, that was fun. You can name everything, so you can name your team. You can say what they do when they power up. You can name the Zord. You can name everything they do. You're in control.
Giant Penisaur.
You could. So
Venusaur.
you can't make him look like one, but you can name him that. So
Viewership does not change.
viewership does not change based on what you name your stuff.
More adult demographic.
You can also choose, like, at the beginning.
Motherfucking Power Rangers.
You can choose who. You can choose who your team is made up of. So I have 2 girls, 2 guys, all diversity casting, by the way,
Oh yeah,
Two
very
is-
balanced.
and a beaver.
I remember that
Kind of a
beaver.
girl, I guess.
I don't know.
Oh.
His name is Beeves.
Don't assume his gender.
He's my tech guy.
Don't assume the
I'm
gender
not.
of the beaver.
I'm assuming what the reference is for a beaver.
I think he's a guy. I think Beeves is a dude. But either way, I also got a new game on my Switch. It's called Crossing Souls.
I saw that.
It is very much an ode to something along the lines of Stranger Things.
Okay.
So it is an action RPG. Each character you get has different movesets on the map.
What kind of game? Is it like turn-based?
Top down, not turn-based action. So like you're doing a roll to get out of the way, letting your stamina recharge, and then
Sounds like a Dark Souls.
kind of, but it's old pixelated graphics. It's up from top, and it's set in the 80s. And
Dark
there's
Souls.
I'm okay with being Dark Souls.
So, very
we're not
cool
getting on
game.
Switch anytime soon, so.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Very cool, kind of, and the story so far has been pretty cool. And yes, it's very much like you meet up with the scientist kid, and his dad's like, you should be going into robotics and this kind of stuff because that's what made me famous. And his mom's a biologist, and it's like, if he wants to go into biology, that's totally fine. And he's literally outside building a giant laser that almost destroyed the neighborhood. And there was a thunderstorm the night before that's caused some weird stuff to go on. So the character you start off playing, his younger brother found something, and that's the point of the game where I'm at. Is they've met at the treehouse, and it's a mix of yes. You know how Stranger Things was kind of a mix of a lot of 80s stuff? That's what this is in a video game.
Does it feel like it's very referencey? Because that was another big appeal of Stranger Things is they would drop like random references to the 80s, like music, big pieces of music, arcade
sort
machines.
of the costume, like the costume design and that kind of stuff. Like it's a pixelated game, but it's not like it's a very high end game in that way.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like your character's like squares. He actually has a face, and then when he's talking, he has a very animated face. But it's still pixel graphics. Like they've done a really good job of blending the two. So, and it's $16 on the Switch. Like it's one of those games where I'm like,
Yeah.
13, 16, why not? As opposed to dropping, $80 on something else that I'll probably not play a lot. This one I can see.
I've been seeing a lot of games that I want to play, but not for like 60 or 80.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of
lot of
like,
them.
that's where I love the Switch is this indie thing is, it's like, this is nice. Like I can pay $13 and get a decent game. So that's that. For TV movie wise, my wife and I finally saw The Incredibles in its completion.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
weird.
I have now found out I have never seen the full movie. Apparently
you left off.
I watched the movie from pretty much when Mr. Incredible is on the island under attack.
Which time?
What?
He goes to
No,
Just there a
the
couple
second time.
times. Okay.
Like I didn't know he went there the first time to
fight the
thing
droid
in
robot.
the
Yeah.
I just
Interesting.
so yeah no I
Really,
never-
you missed the entire beginning
Yeah.
sequence. Wow, that was a really great sequence.
I don't know how it was good, so that's the shtick, and my wife's
I'm
never seen
Incredible
it because my wife's never seen it because it was mostly just a superhero flick to her, and she's like whatever. So I ended up
It's so much more.
Disney.
buying it from. But there's certain Disney movies, like I said, we talked about it last week. Like Dumbo is one of the
Dumbo
ones
you
we
just
just don't
don't.
watch. But yeah, The Incredibles was just one where we were like,
How did you feel about
it
it?
was good movie.
Right?
Yeah. Like I said, the ending part was good. I always thought that part, like, I'm like, oh yeah, The Incredibles was a good flick. Now that you got the beginning part attached to the ending part,
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
a little
much
bit
better
more
movie.
a little more complete. now you get Syndrome's motivations.
I kind of understood them from what I knew.
You extrapolated a little.
Yeah, like you
But-
kind of understand it when he's like, I was your greatest fan, and you're like, oh,
When?
all right.
When was it?
I don't know.
It was a good enough movie then. Now it's an excellent.
It's a much better film now. We also watched Up the other night, which I mean,
I have still seen it.
you haven't seen Up?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I have it, but I haven't watched it.
It
You've
is-
never seen Up, and you rip on me for not watching Die Hard.
Yes.
yeah, Die Hard's older.
Yeah, but I'm also that like we never watched that kind of stuff as a kid.
TBS Superstation.
Never got it.
Same people that want Star Wars.
I never got that stuff. So
Either way, Up still good. Overly dark movie.
yes.
Watching it again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's.
Kind of just
The
casually
second
watching
half is
it.
much better to watch, I think.
Well, the first part's sad,
Mhm.
but the whole movie itself quite dark. Like quite dark.
Yeah, like
As colorful as that film is.
I'm trying to think of like
Very
what
dark
sequences like when he kind of throws Russell away. He's like, "Go home, kid," or whatever.
Shh.
I don't know when that is.
Either way.
Who's
yeah.
Russell?
The
What's a
kid.
So you
Clearly
have
the
seen
name of the squirrel.
Or the dog.
the snipe.
He is the cats.
Either way, Up, also a good film. We kind of did a little Disney shtick. I kept watching, so my wife and I watched, I talked about this one last week, Zumbo, Just
Yes.
Desserts. My wife was like, I no longer want to watch this show. It feels just... Her feeling towards it was cold. She was like, it feels cold.
Yeah.
She found that, and I'm like, is it because they're Australian and British? Like, they do come off that way if you're not used to watching. And they do. Like, it's just the accent and the way they speak. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of not holding back on a lot of stuff. And it was pretty much the one, not Zumbo, but the other judge
Mhm.
she found cold. And then the one person who was the assistant. She was just annoying, but they kind of cut her out of the show. Like on the first couple episodes, the assistant had a bigger role of like going and interviewing people, kind of like on Iron Chef. There's the guy on the floor who helps Alton Brown talk to people. They had her in the first few episodes, and then all of a sudden, the only reason she was there to be like, 2 hours left, everybody, 2 hours left, and she was Brazilian, so she didn't even fit in with the whole like Australian theme that they had going on.
Diversity.
Diversity casting. No, he was actually her assistant. Like she is a master pastry person, so she's good at what she does.
Maybe she's
But just not
has
at
her own
being-
show.
Just not at being
On the TV.
a host of some kind. Either way, I kept watching it. My wife got home the one day, and I was halfway through an episode, and I'm like, "Well, I can turn it off." And she's like, "No, it's all good." And then we finished watching it together. So my wife just skipped.
She missed the middle lore.
She missed the middle part. All the people I wanted to win kept getting booted off, so I just stopped cheering for people. And then started cheering for the one I wanted to lose. It worked out. So, it's just cool to see the challenges that they have to go through.
Yeah.
And then, like, the growth that some of them do go through. Because they are home dessert makers.
So they're not.
So
they're
they're-
used to being home.
Well, no, they're better than Nailed It. Where Nailed It is just like...
Legitimately, I know how to bake. Yes.
They pick a person off the street and go, "Can you make a cake?" And they're like, "Probably."
No.
These people legitimately do stuff at home and want to move into the professional business, but for whatever reason don't have the money or don't have the,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So these people know what they're doing. It's just cool to see the growth of, like, there's a master pastry chef
Mhm.
teaching them to do some crazy techniques. So that one was cool. So we watched the finale of that one. It's a 2-year-old show, so really, like, there's
Surprise.
no surprises.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I talked about this one, but I did watch it. And I watched it a while ago, Pacific Rim 2.
I've never
No,
seen.
well, if you mentioned, I was also gone for.
No, you didn't.
I don't think I talked. I think I talked
Unless I
about it
wasn't
on that
around.
one where we missed an episode, and Brian and I talked about it while I
Maybe.
was playing WoW. But either way, I did see Pacific Rim 2. Good sequel.
How's is it the same in terms of like it's if you're going in and expecting giant monsters
Yes.
versus giant robots, they're just punching each other in the
Yes.
face.
Yes.
Okay.
Do not expect deep lore from Pacific Rim.
Some excellent acting.
There's a way that they bring back the monsters without like
Humans did it, didn't they?
without
No, they're
without,
always at the end. They're connecting through the brain.
yeah.
Oh.
I haven't seen the second one yet, but I have assumption that's
Yeah,
probably
that's
exactly
right.
the way they were
They
going.
melded into
It
the
has
brain.
to do with the brain melding.
the brain
So the scientists.
cerebro.
So Guillermo del Toro didn't direct this one, but he did write it, so it is his writing, different director. Still
It does.
a good movie.
It does feel visually. It does look visually different than his first movie, though. In terms of, colors. It seems a lot more bright.
Yeah, it is brighter.
Well, that's because they figured. Well, they were
We can
under.
see-
First one, they were under attack so much.
This one also
They're
has the like
depressed.
scrappy young hero sort of thing.
But they had that in the first
Is it like the Star Wars thing where they're trying to get new blood into
with
the?
Boyega in it.
Yeah, I was
essentially,
just gonna
yeah.
say with
They cut out everybody from the what? This is Pacific Rim 2.
Uprising.
Yes.
Uprising. I need to watch. I think it's on
Either way,
Netflix.
Jason Boyega's character
on
is
Netflix.
the kid
It's on
of.
it?
No.
Okay,
Is
I
the
own it.
I shall find it.
kid of the sergeant or the general from the first movie.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's
yes.
kid.
Yeah.
You mean Heimdall?
Yeah, he's Heimdall's kid. Either way, he's not the right off the beginning of the movie you find out like he steals things and leads his own life, like he's trying to be.
It
Not
sounds
his dad.
really bad.
He's definitely not his dad. He
He's
knows.
trying not to be his dad.
Yeah.
I get a Star Trek vibe.
From
the reboot of Star
Your
Trek.
dad saved the day.
Yeah.
You don't want to be your dad.
So he was ex-military, like
and
he
then,
was.
and then reluctantly bees the dad.
They know that he can pilot. One
Jaeger.
a Jaeger. Like they know that
Yeah.
Okay,
because he was in the army because of his father. Due to certain things, he ends
Yeah.
up back there.
so I just want to ask. You guys have both seen this movie.
I have not.
Oh.
Yeah, you
I
go
just-
for
I
it.
just-
It's not like a story plot moment, but is
Yeah.
there any point that they have a move that's literally called the Jaeger bomb,
No.
and then like drop a bomb like
How would
Like,
you draw?
They
like
don't-
it's like elbow drop, and then they call it the Jaeger bomb, or like a
don't- they
bomb,
don't
or
call
like a
it the-
missile that comes
They
out
don't
of the.
call it the Jaeger bomb.
I would call it.
Jaeger
I would
bomb.
call a missile a Jaeger bomb. Take my
Where-
Jaeger bomb,
Where it's a missile that goes inside the mouth. And
and then it's just like boom.
They don't call it a
Take my
bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
you could.
Oh man.
Totally.
Either way, decent
Missed
follow,
opportunity.
decent follow-up film.
Yeah.
They kind of explain why all these monsters keep going after Japan.
It's because
Why
Japan.
not? Because of Godzilla.
No, there's a reason for it.
Godzilla did it. They
Are
Well,
they-
that's the
is-
shtick. They're kind
is
of
it
trying to
bec-
cabin in the woods their way into a why are all the bad guys always headed towards Japan? Like
Is it
this
because
type
they're on like a fault or
But
something
they
like
attacked
that?
the U.S.
Ugh.
of- on their way? So
Screw your wall.
just like slightly pancake. Don't do that.
No.
Um,
How about you? No.
There you go. That'll do it. She's
Hey.
like, hey, my bed. Come here.
I like being propped with that thing.
Um,
Screw your wall. Screw your wall.
Essentially, what it was those rifts, like when they open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the Pacific.
Yeah,
Because
in
it's
the Pacific Rim.
Uprising.
Did you guys know there is an Eastern Ocean Rim or something movie? Like it's a knockoff
Yes.
film. They
Yes.
open in
Yes.
yeah. Atlantic Rim. They open in the other ocean.
Of course.
Either
a
way,
movie.
the monsters
movie.
came out of that and were directionally challenged, but knew they had to get to a certain thing, so they would just start walking. Whether they
Okay.
turned left or right out of the thing, and that's why they'd attack the U.S. is because they were still trying to work their way to Japan. They just took the long way.
So they just walked
So just
across
let
the
them
US.
walk through.
Yeah.
They're trying to get to them. Just leave them.
Either way, that's why there's
Uprising.
a yes,
and then they go to
uprising.
the Atlantic Ocean. And
But yes, there's the scrappy young person that Boyega meets.
He reluctantly becomes.
And then,
the-
well, not even him. There's a bunch of reluctant people in this film.
What, do you really want to step
Are they-
into
are
a
you
giant
saying-
machine fighting giant monsters? No.
That would be my dream.
No.
That's one of the characters. Is the I want to build there's a young girl who can build Jaegers. Like she builds a self
A mini
a
Jaeger?
mini Jaeger.
Mini.
that you don't need two people to control because it's small enough.
But does she have mini Jaeger bombs?
No.
Myth has.
So those actually little ones, like
I also watched
Jaeger shots.
I also watched Ready Player One this week.
So fun, right?
It's a good movie.
It's so good.
My wife
I
did
liked
not
it.
enjoy the movie reference that was clue number 2.
I like that. That was
Oh.
probably one of the
I
better
enjoyed
scenes.
that, but my wife does not like horror films. So
Yes, mine definitely turned away. A
yes,
little
mine
for that.
also did. My wife turned away at the beginning of that scene and then started to open her eyes, and I'm like, just keep
As soon
them
as
shut.
I
as soon
thought
as
that
I
was
told her that it
hilarious.
was a Shining, I was like, oh, you might not like this.
As soon
Has
as
she seen the Shining?
No, but she knows.
My wife will never see The Shining for the exact purpose that it is The Shining.
Well, that's what I love. In it.
But
You
I
haven't
told-
seen that.
But I've
movie?
told her what happens. Like, this is gonna get real. So this is gonna go south real fast. If you.
Okay, so spoiler-ish, if you haven't seen The Shining, I guess, there's a spot when elevator doors open, and that's the part
It's
where my
pretty
wife...
iconic at this
It
point.
is, but that's where my wife turned away, because it's like, holy
Blood.
smokes, lots
She
of
also
blood.
turned away during the bathroom scene.
Well,
too.
so then all of a sudden...
Well, I liked how they did that in this because it's a
So-
lower-rated movie, so you have to cover up.
yeah, they did a
parts.
great job.
It's
but-
so good.
The blood scene ended and all the kind of action stuff stopped.
Yeah.
So my wife's like, okay. And then he opens the door and I see the person in the bathroom just cover your eyes again. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it has nothing to do with nudity. Just cover your eyes. Trust
gonna-
me.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly what was coming out of that person in the bathtub.
Well, yeah. If you've seen the
If
movie,
you've seen the movie,
you
you
know
know.
what's happening.
So yes, for that entire sequence, my wife just covered her eyes. But otherwise, good flick. Yeah. No, I thought it was
all
good.
the
Oh,
80s,
it
all
was
the
so much-
references. And
So
The
much.
references were great. I love how, because in the original book, I haven't read it, but he does have to play Joust at one point.
Yeah.
And I like how they kind of get to that with the Atari
Yep.
thing. Like, they do kind of do that callback,
yeah.
but without jousting.
No. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
The only thing that I read online the other day was, because there was someone who posted in movie details on Reddit, there's a part where one of the characters, she's like, oh, you won't like me in real life because she has a
I know.
birthmark.
That's what
Yes.
She has a
Ross had
birthmark.
that complaint.
And then in the in the game world, she actually puts the birthmark on
Yeah.
her. That was the shtick.
What?
Brian's playing WoW.
Get off. Wow.
Either way, in the book, apparently when she says you won't like what you see in real life is because she's not actually attractive, but he's also not attractive.
But, yeah, and that was our complaint.
But being Hollywood, everybody's got to be pretty.
All I have is this little birthmark on
Yeah.
my face.
Got a
I'm so hideous.
I am
I'm
so
like,
hideous.
I'm so hideous!
Well,
like,
and like someone said, to be
Really?
fair, they're like, people can be jerks. Like one person on Reddit did say, like, I do have a similar birthmark, and people do tend to point it out. And, you know, when
Yeah.
you're a kid, people do tend to. So if she lived in this world where all she kept doing was getting made fun of and, you know, brought down because of it,
Especially in a world where she can get away online.
Right.
Be someone else.
it kind of makes sense. But in the books, apparently, like, they're both, you know,
But ugly.
overweight and
But ugly.
is kind of slobs. Like, yeah.
It doesn't make
being
for a good movie.
Right, but being Hollywood, you want everybody to be at least marginally good looking.
well, yeah.
And especially
Put
if
her
you're-
overweight.
And to be fair,
Something.
the book and the movie are very different.
Yeah. That was my
But,
understanding.
but
Other
have you
than-
seen the size of that book?
Oh yes, but other than the Oasis, they have nothing in common,
Which is fun.
which is fine.
For
So
someone
that's
who
kind
hasn't
of
read the book before.
that's kind of the shtick. Is one guy's like, this is one of those movies where I really go, this is the movie Ready Player One. This is the book.
It's like
Ready
Game of
Player One.
Thrones,
Yes.
where the differences are okay.
Yes.
You mean like Walking Dead?
No.
No,
Pisses us
Walking
off.
Dead.
Off.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about. I don't know about the community on Walking Dead.
I haven't watched that show in a couple
They chicken out a lot on The Walking Dead, where the comic doesn't.
What they can get away with.
Yes. Or like the
Or
show,
characters are different, dying at different times, and,
or they don't die
or
at
they
all.
switch the characters
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Either way, though, Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, good flick. Loved that one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the 8,000th time.
Yeah.
And following Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Popstar, the Andy Samberg movie, is also now
Never
available
stop.
on
Never stop stopping.
Never Stop.
Never stop stopping.
No, it's Never Stop Not Stopping.
Yeah, that's about right. That's something he would write.
Yeah.
Never Stop
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Stopping. Something like that. Either way, it is a fake documentary film where Andy Samberg was part of a boy band and went solo. And it is the rise and fall of Popstar, with Andy Samberg playing.
I need to see that.
It just came out on Netflix in
Yeah.
Canada. So if you like Andy Samberg
I'm appreciative of
and
this
Lonely
work.
Island, because they're the other two members of this
Boy band.
group, yeah, terrible. I enjoyed it.
It's a
because-
dumb flick.
Yes, you have to. Because my wife turned it on last night. Okay, I would not have gone to see it in the theater, so I do not blame you.
That was your first problem.
Yeah.
Probably.
My wife turned it on yesterday, and
bad
she's
movie.
like, "Well, one of your favorite actors is in this," and I'm like, "Are we watching Popstar?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I just watched this the other day," and she's like, "Without me?" And I'm like, "Well, it's very Adam Sandler-y. Like, it's not a movie you would enjoy. And she's like, well, I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I'm like, then know that what you're walking into
It's an over-exaggeration of the character.
Is Andy Samberg doing what he used to do on SNL. It's like walking into an Adam Sandler movie, expecting not an Adam Sandler movie.
Remember Dick in a Box? That's basically that.
It is. It's and that's what I laughed about, because they're singing songs on this movie that are like, you know, racist and overly offensive, and I'm like, these guys have won an Emmy. 2, I believe. So you really have to walk in knowing you're getting Andy Samberg and Lonely Island in an R-rated-esque type movie, and it is R-rated. So yes,
R-rated, PG-14 for us.
There's definitely nudity in this film.
Still PG-14.
Lots of swearing and, like I said, overly offensive songs.
PG-14. In Canada.
Lots of guest stars. Like, even my wife goes, you can tell he has a lot of pull. Like, Andy Samberg has lots of pull in Hollywood.
Especially working with, like, SNL.
And that's exactly what I said. I'm like, well, all of Lonely Island's worked with SNL. They were the digital short people. Like, if you were in a digital short, like, you worked with
on a boat.
But that was just their own stuff.
Yeah,
Their
but
digital shorts,
songs.
there was over 100 digital shorts that they did for SNL. Like, that's where Natalie Portman came in with the Chronic, whatever that was.
Yeah,
was Chronicles of Narnia.
What was it? She did more than that.
She did 2. Did she do 3?
The Star Wars ones?
I don't know.
Or the Natalie Portman where she's on drugs. And she did 2.
Yeah, 2.
She did the second one.
Yeah, I know. So she did the second one with Lonely Island after Andy Samberg had left. Andy Samberg and Lonely Island did their part.
And then they filmed that weird
Hollywood
second one.
Yeah, that was the second one. The first one was when they were still working for SNL. But all of that stuff, all those digital shorts were Lonely Island.
Mm-hmm.
This is just them getting their own film. So expect stupid when you go into it.
Oh, I totally do.
But yeah,
expect.
like, don't expect gold.
This is different kind of gold.
Yes. This, again, it's like going into an Adam Sandler movie if you're never going into one.
Well, I would even almost say, like, going into a Jackass movie and expecting them to be okay at the end of it all.
But that's my thing. It's like, it literally is. This is an Adam Sandler flick. This is an Andy Samberg flick. Like, you have to know what
He
you're
is
getting
the
into.
Adam Sandler of this generation.
He is. That's why they did that movie together. Which, again, if you go
God,
into
I forgot about
one,
that movie. Oh, God.
if you go into that one expecting gold, you're sorely mistaken.
I forgot that movie existed.
You shouldn't forget that movie exists.
True.
Again, if you go
That's
into
my
it
boy.
expecting what you expect,
That's the one where
That's
he
my
gets the
boy.
tattoos.
Yeah.
Tattoos like the baby.
yeah. If you go into that movie expecting that film, it's perfect.
No.
It's bad,
Uh-huh.
but it's exactly what, like, again,
What
you'd
what they
expect
both
from
would
those
do.
two being in a movie.
Nowadays, yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, this is definitely not early Adam Sandler work.
Late Adam Sandler.
Late Adam Sandler work.
Slapstick, almost.
But yeah, this is Andy Samberg stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's me.
Tweet.
Ah,
Cool.
Okay.
Did you do anything? I only watched one thing this week.
Then you go ahead.
What did you do?
Speaking of Natalie Portman, I watched Annihilation.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet about that. Is it on
Okay.
drugs?
All right. So Annihilation came out a couple months back, and I was under the impression it would be kind of like The Arrival.
Okay.
Have you seen anyone? You've seen obviously
No,
The
I
Arrival.
haven't seen The Arrival. Brian has saw the.
Oh,
seen
that's
The
right.
Arrival.
What's Arrival?
Okay,
Arrival.
Arrival is that
Jeremy Iron or
Jeremy Renner,
not Irons.
Amy Adams
Yes.
in an alien movie. Yeah. Okay.
Where they talk
Either
to
way,
aliens.
but there was the whole separate portion of that movie that made it way cooler. Anyways, Annihilation. I was under the impression that it was going to be some deep
Ooh.
alien
This is
messed up movie.
This is a book too.
Yeah. So there was okay. So the main plot of this movie is that there is this shimmer area that is, for whatever reason, appeared in, like, I think New Mexico or something like that. It was like an alien meteorite that landed and then started getting the shimmer growing and growing across the world. And the government has been sending in people to investigate this area, and none have come back.
And the solution is to keep sending people there till someone
keep
comes back.
If only we had drones or something, we could, you know.
I wouldn't.
They actually write that off. They actually write.
Okay.
They're right. There is a story reason why they send in people. They send in, like, drones. No radio waves actually come out of it because the plot point is that they go in, Actually, back a couple steps. The latest group that they send in is a bunch of female soldiers or people who actually have a reason to go in there.
Yep.
Natalie Portman's character, I can't remember, it's Lisa or something like that.
Sure.
Her husband was actually one of the last people that was sent in, so she needs to go in to figure out what happened to her husband,
Cool.
whether her husband's alive or not, because to her knowledge, he was dead, but for whatever reason showed up at her doorstep, like that night after or one of the nights, and was alive, but for whatever reason, it's not actually him.
It's an alien. Pod people.
It's weird. So when they go into this shimmer, yes, the first thing that happens
Body
is
snatchers.
the first thing that
Pod
without spoiling the movie, you're not far off. There's more to it.
Travel.
There's more to it
Time
than that.
travel.
But the big thing is that when they walk in, the shimmer is actually affecting all the radio waves and everything it's reflecting all of the everything.
So
like
really, where's radio waves?
radio waves, mutations, that kind of stuff. So one of the big things is when they get into the plant life, they're looking at all these vines, but for whatever reason, there's different growths of different flowers on one single vine, which shouldn't happen in real life.
Yeah.
One of the sequences is they get attacked by a giant alligator, but as they're panning into the alligator's mouth, you can see that there's like rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of
It's a
teeth.
shark.
Yes, so
Shark teeth.
so the big
Just take all these different movies and
it's super kooky because the way that they kind of write that in is that humans have this. As soon as you're born, you have a death clock. Like as your cells multiply, eventually they will
Do
die.
we? I will never die.
what's that movie with Justin Timberlake?
Oh, In Time.
Yeah,
That's a
In
good
Time.
movie.
that was a good movie.
That actually was not bad. Not bad. Not bad. But in this case, they're talking about how every time your cells multiply, it will eventually die. That's just the natural life of humans, animals, plants, that kind of stuff. And so the concept was that they were in this shimmer and they were analyzing their DNA, but for whatever reason, it's not dying, but it's actually mutating, for lack of a better term, into something else. Sure. Except a lot less fun. A lot less fun.
Why didn't we ask for helium?
We should have gotten no claw. We should have gotten claw. Why blue purple? I still watch that short every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
It's great.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Oh, I have to show you that one
Oh my
after.
god, it's so great. But yes, Annihilation. It's basically talking about this alien force
Who are
trying
coming to annihilate us.
and it was full of, like, the last, I want to say, third of that movie got into a really weird scenario where I wasn't sure if it was just Natalie Portman acting on a green screen and then just saying, okay, Natalie, this is what's happening now, that's what's in front of you, react to that.
She's a weird actress.
Well, I saw the trailer for this with her and
Oh, this-
shooting assault guns. It's like
The
it's
trailer
serious.
shows I will give the trailer credit, nothing about what that movie is, and I don't think any trailer
Could
can convey what that movie is actually talking about.
Yeah.
Even though I talk about it like mutating human DNA and plant
There's
DNA,
more- there's more, too.
it is super kooky, and then which leads off into the ending, which she is the one survivor who actually gets out of this mist.
Spoilers.
And it starts off in the very beginning.
Oh.
It's one of those time.
Oh.
It's one of those time things where they're like,
Here's the end. Guess what? Now
is
you're gonna
time
see
travel.
What
Yeah,
see, time
it's
travel.
it's a wobbly goobly thing.
Goobly goobly.
And so they're interviewing her. It's like, so what was in the mist? And every once in a while, they'll cut back to that interrogation and cut back to what happened in the mist. There is time travel-y stuff that happen. Well, not time travel stuff, but mind perception stuff. Because as soon as
I
they,
still want to see it.
I don't know. It's totally worth watching. It's one of those movies that you need to
Weird. Shut
really
off your brain.
No, actually, you need to really turn your brain on because it's one of those things where it's like so
that
many
one's never gonna get seen then.
so many things that are like coming at you, so many different story points that are coming at you at once that you need to pay attention because it's super weird. The first time they walk into the mist, or the only time they walk into the mist, they literally wake up 5 days later, and they have no recollection as to what happened. They count the rations. Yeah, like we
Passed out.
had 5 days of rations. Do you remember setting your tent up? No. Like it starts off like that.
Huh.
It's very, very kooky, very experimental, I would almost say.
Cool.
Yeah, the last third is super like druggy in terms of like let's take all the drugs and then put this in let's go into After Effects and every sort of like Final Cut everything, just make a special effects and then go. It gets really weird.
Interesting.
I
forgot to.
I don't know if I would watch it in theaters because I would very much.
It didn't last long in theaters.
So it had a really weird release in North America. It basically in every market other than Europe, it was in theaters for a couple of weeks or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't very
But
long.
in Europe, it actually released day and date on Netflix. And a weird because I
thought I heard about that.
when I watched the trailer, I was like, cool. I could get down with this if it's something like The Arrival, where it's something super meta, super experimental.
They're trying to win awards. See, they put it into movie theaters. That's how you win awards.
Then put Mowgli back, I guess.
I don't know.
I'm gonna see what. I don't know about that. I wasn't sure about that movie when they first announced it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had a weird release in Europe. It was on Netflix right away, like day one. So there were ways to find the movie, obviously, because of that,
digital.
because of that release.
Yeah.
But it was in theaters, you're right, for not a whole lot of time.
long.
Like I want to say about a month tops.
Yeah. Well, that's about any movie, I guess. But
yeah, that's what I did. I did.
Get Avengers in a couple weeks.
I don't know.
Blu-ray of Avengers.
When I come back
I've already watched it.
When I come
again.
back from camping.
There you go.
I did finish off DuckTales. I think are they on a break right now? Is DuckTales on a break?
The last one I watched was.
I watched. Oh, then you were about 4 episodes behind from where I am because I'm on episode 20 now.
They could be done 20 minutes mark.
Because my buddy was like, "Oh, where's DuckTales?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because I hadn't been caught up at that point, so I just watched them all. But I
was
didn't.
just on IMDb for DuckTales today because we watched another 2 episodes of DuckTales.
That's such a fun show. Holy.
So they interviewed them at some thing, like some
Comic-Con?
I know what you're talking. It's not Comic-Con.
some event. It wasn't Comic-Con.
I think it was a Disney specific event.
It was. There are 23 episodes. The last one is The Night of Dispel, and it comes out August 18th.
There you go.
Yeah, they are.
You should have gotten a new episode. Yeah, a new episode comes out on the 11th. The Secret of Castle McDuck came out today.
Okay, so they're not so much on a break now. Okay. Because
Um,
I know that they released a bit of a teaser episode
yes.
with Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited to see.
Don Cheadle does the voice of Donald Duck.
There's a reason. It's funny as shit.
Someone so IGN put this thing out, and that's where I was reading it. But it was they kind of interviewed the cast, and it was what do you think about the new show versus the old show?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I think we have fun. Like, and David Tennant's like, I think it's a crazy show where like this rich megalomaniac takes a bunch of kids essentially on adventures all the time.
So like the old show.
Well, and then all the comments were all these people who were like, I refuse to watch this junk, da 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 da, like the animation's horrible and this and that and everything else. And then the only comments that are like, I really enjoyed this show, and one person was very right. They're like, everybody who's hating on this show hasn't even watched it. Like even Danny Pudi in the interview was like, these people have great reverence for the old stuff. Like we do pocket in references and we do this. Like
every few episodes, there's a piece that's like, oh, from the old show, there's this thing, or from another Disney show, there's this thing.
And I find the art style, it's less jarring, especially than the new Mickey Mouse shorts.
I love that art style.
It feels
so
very much
good.
like they pulled from the comics of DuckTales than anything else.
And yes, they are giving the the triplets like their own personalities.
But I think that's just a modern storytelling thing.
And on top of that, they visually look different, and
Yeah.
they have their own style on top of that.
Yeah, and I don't think that
No, I
hurts.
think that makes it better.
Like one person's like, well, the person who did the voices for Huey, Louie, and Dewey's still alive. Why didn't they get her? And it's like
Because they're a billion years old.
well, no, like she can still do the voice. Like she does do the voice for the classic Disney stuff where they need them all to sound the same, and I'm like, well, but that's the point. Is they're supposed to sound different.
Yeah.
They don't even sound like ducks anymore. And I'm like, the only duck that sounds like a duck is Donald.
Scrooge, maybe.
He's always had the Scottish accent.
Yeah, like it's I don't know.
Like Donald is still the only one who has ever just sounded
like
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like he's the only one who's ever done that until now when they,
yeah, that's great.
So that's like the weird arguments online against the show were very weird to me because watching it,
I was very much, and I will say, hello.
Hello.
I will say, like, I was with those guys until I started really getting into it. I'm like, this is different. Like, you have me with the song, but this art style's a little... yeah, it's a little too catchy. But as soon as you really get into it, that's so much better than what I expected.
Yeah.
Like, it's solid.
Yeah, and like there was one episode with Scrooge and Webigail. Like,
yes,
where they
know.
finally do connect, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, there's that connection piece. Thank you.
Dewey just had a real strong episode. Yeah,
And
I know you haven't seen it.
And
but
that's kind of the nice part is by separating them, they can do that.
Did you watch the episode where they had the day without being
Yeah,
brothers? That was so good.
The day where it was the only child day, so all three of them were only children. For the day.
And literally, they introduced each other. It's like, I am the only child. Blah, blah, blah. I'd like to see the friends here, and I'd like to make friends by myself because I'm the only child. It's so good.
That's what I mean. Like, the writing is it's strong.
It's really good.
So,
I actually
without just recreating.
I actually
show.
anticipate them getting like a mini movie or something like that.
Honestly, if they redid the DuckTales movie to a point, that would be insanely good. Okay, I have to go deal with the
do that
parking
thing.
thing.
But yes, that's but yeah, watched Annihilation and DuckTales. No video games because I don't have time for that at the moment. I have this work thing and then personal stuff that's happening, so I can't really do that. I need
Excuses.
What have you been up to?
I'll have excuses come here in a couple months.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. What have you been up to?
Bunch of stuff. Since you're here, God of War and still
God of War is so good.
starting to war with the gods. It's
Where at which point are you at now?
I am under the mountain.
Which one?
Which one? There's only one.
Which mountain? Which mountain?
The
are we
mountain you're supposed to climb.
Oh, you're under that one. Oh.
I
okay.
came back from Alfheim. I guess that's it.
Niflheim?
No, the elf place.
Oh, Alfheim. Okay.
Alfheim.
Alfheim. Okay. All right.
Came back from there.
I guess
I don't know how I'm surviving with. What is W's? What?
I agree.
I don't know how I'm surviving in these fights. I really don't.
I think it's one of the part of the things that the genuine charms about that game is if it puts you in that situation where you're almost dead, but it gives
somehow
you
survive.
But it gives you sort of like a buff. We know. Yes.
They're trying to move forward. That's what W's always mean.
Why?
No, moving forward.
Who? What?
Like in most computer games,
Who?
to move forward. you
Why
press
is
W.
Why is
Okay.
Gamora?
Yes, I guess.
Why is Gamora? But yes.
No, like it's
I think that's a game design thing where if you
somehow I'm surviving.
yes, it makes it so that you should survive, and then if you really mess up, then you'll die. But it kind of gives you a buff in terms of
Well,
damage.
how am I? Because when I'm blocking, once in a while it will slow down.
Mhm.
Am I supposed to do something in that? Because it's not giving me the timing to do that.
Are you doing a perfect block? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. It slows down.
Yeah, that's.
Like it slows down,
You guys
and
want to
then
hear a joke?
sure.
Go ahead. W.
I block, and then it slows down. But by the time it reacts to my pressing the button, it's back to real time, and I'm not getting it.
There is a reactionary effect for one of the. There's It depends on what you've spec'd in to do as well. Some of the shield. Depend.
I'm not funny.
Okay,
But
if you think so.
I was promised a joke. This
can-
is like the last episode where some guy said he had a question and didn't ask it.
There's still
That's gonna
time. I
bother
still got a list.
Tell me your joke.
Maybe that
Anyways.
was the joke. Oh, never mind.
I'm
I'm-
not fun.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Why did the boxer want to tell a joke?
Why?
I don't know.
You up?
I don't know. I forgot the punchline.
Da, da, yeah, punch. See, I really like corny jokes. So really, like,
I came up with that one just right now.
there's a
No, you
really,
didn't.
there's a really,
Yeah, I really did.
there's a really good one. What is my favorite
It's
game?
not the joke.
I hope this isn't the
This is
setup
a-
for the joke. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
I can't choose one.
Pokemon? I don't know. Metal
In
Gear?
general, ooh, yeah,
Metal Gear? I don't know.
I can't choose one. I play so much. I can't. It's
Achievements.
yes.
The
Trophies.
What's your favorite achievement?
one you're most proud of.
I don't know.
I got the bladder. of
Probably the
steel in Dark Knight
Skyrim
2.
Platinum.
Hmm?
Skyrim Platinum.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty intense.
Because that's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And I did it in one playthrough.
The bladder of steel is pretty hard in Rock Band 2.
Is that just like playing?
No, there's a
you have
playlist
to-
you have to play through.
You have to play, it's literally playing all the songs in Rock Band.
for like 5 hours, isn't it?
I think it's like 3, but you can't pause either.
Okay.
That's the big piece of that. You can't pause. I think the first time I did that, I was like real close, and then I think my batteries died.
Oh no.
I think it was like 3/4 in. I was like, fuck this.
I remember my brother telling me that story about that achievement.
It's
but
a
his
fun
buddy
one.
accidentally tripped and hit the power button
Oh no.
Oh.
and shut off the
sad
game
face.
on them.
Oh no.
And they weren't happy with him.
It's not like a platinum achievement. Or
No,
trophy,
but it's a really tough one.
It's a fun one to have on my badge, on my PlayStation account. Bladder of steel.
But yeah, so I'm under the
Anyways.
mountain.
Under mountain.
I finally got the kid his first outfit.
I didn't give him too many.
There
Well,
are
they-
outfits.
They
Yeah,
can choke. Well, his
for
choke
him.
move. That's what I did. His
Oh.
outfit increased that.
Oh,
The
okay. I
damage
see
on
what
that.
you're talking about. Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I found him. No.
No.
I don't think so.
no,
That'd be a poor KK.
no.
No.
I'm gonna say no. But yes,
Uh,
costuming.
Yes.
Yeah, but and then I'm trying to make his bow better, but trying to find the material for that. And
I wouldn't worry about it too much. It'll come.
all the
naturally.
skills I'm keeping up with him.
Yep,
I know you
good.
said focus on
Yes, he's
him, but I haven't gotten anything for him in a while.
But the thing is, like, even with his 3 arrows, they provide a lot of damage. I don't. You.
Well, yeah, there was one boss where I'm like, just sit back and just
Yep,
shoot him.
You can't do that.
'Cause
You-
I'm at
you
low
can't-
health,
You
and I'm
can
just going
cheese
to keep
them out.
retreating.
You can't cheese enemies out like that. I
I do all the time.
There's an upgrade for the bow and arrow where it causes the arrows to explode. I don't know. Have you gotten that one yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that one's a really cool ability to have.
He just got the light one to make it
Okay.
those things light
Oh,
up.
that's actually my favorite bow. My favorite effect, the electric sparks, because
No, it's to build the bridges, the light bridges.
oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. You're gonna get a different one effect later on, which is actually really really cool. I like the exploding arrows ones because what I like to do is with the Leviathan axe, I'll pop people up and then hit them with arrows, and they'll explode in the middle.
I don't really pop people up. Like I said, I'm a quick hitter. I'm not a
Yeah,
pop them up.
everyone's got their own thing.
I'm finally getting better with the witch fights.
I
Those
hate-
are a struggle, but I figured.
Atreus is the key for those.
Oh yeah, I know. Shoot,
Atreus.
and then you come in and smack,
Yeah,
smack, smack.
Atreus is 100% the key for the witch fights.
Yeah, well, I've gotten better with that. It's gotten better.
It's this enemy that keeps disappearing in the fog,
Mm.
but Atreus can shoot the arrows fast enough to hit them as they pop up, which stuns them, or at least staggers them a little bit, so you can get in and do your things.
I think it's just cool that, like, obviously there's the different play styles involved with
Oh,
all
yeah.
of the different. Like, that's a really good way to
There's
build
lots
a game.
of exploring.
Oh yeah, tons of backtracking. Like it's classic Metroid style, Castlevania style. You'll come back to this with the proper skills or items to
There's a
get
few
this
things I'm
treasure
looking for.
chest.
What about the treasure? Yeah, what about those hidden treasure chests?
Which ones?
Like, how am I supposed to find them? Like, they give me the hint. But
Oh.
there's no. Thank you, need German?
Thanks, Nee German.
So are you talking about like the scrolls where it gives you the map of
yeah.
the area?
Where it gives you a small picture of.
Right. So you're supposed to be able to suss that out. There
And
is
dig?
No. That's an area in the world, and you're supposed to match it up sort of with that picture and follow the clues to that treasure chest.
Okay.
That's all you need to do. That's all it is. How are you liking the glyph puzzles where you have to hit them within X amount of seconds?
Oh, it's
So annoying.
Someone's been given a timeout.
Okay.
No. Like,
when,
come on now.
It's the internet.
Behave.
No.
I have buttons that I can press.
You're pushing my buttons. Yeah, the glyphs are...
like hit them at a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're.
They get pretty tricky.
Well, I'm trying. Like there was one where I'm trying to. Like, they're on opposite sides, kind of. So
Yeah.
I smack it, pull it back. As soon as I pull the.
I think I know which
360
one.
of the 180. And there's a couple of them.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Well, there was one I ran into where the bells, they didn't even say which ones were active on it, and you had to essentially test fire which ones did I. That took a bit. Well, you did because you don't know. Like, it's not that I didn't know where they were after a while. I figured out which ones they were by just kind of marking them. But it's. You got to turn around quick and you got to figure out which one.
Sometimes it's a puzzle of figuring out where to place yourself to best optimize these. So in God of War, there's these chests with these 3 symbols on it.
Yep.
And sometimes to unlock them, you just have to find the urns, smash them, unlocks the chest. That's it.
There is one that I left behind because I can't figure out where the other 2 ones are. In the
Usually they're like right next to each other ish. In that area.
It was in the Alfheim one, and it was that dark area. Because when there's that, you go kind of underground to go.
Oh, was it
under
that
the bridge?
you had to make a makeshift bridge?
Yeah.
And you were like
And
pulling
it closed up, and
Yeah.
then there was a chest, but I
Okay,
can't
so
get
the trick with that one is that you had to close the bridge halfway.
What?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I know that one you were playing.
So I'm not gonna. Do you go back to Alfheim?
No.
No,
No,
so that'd be a separate time where I
Yeah,
have to
you'd
go
have
back.
to go back to that one.
Kratos is a bad button.
He is.
Yep.
He's a lad.
He's a bad.
Bada.
He is a badass.
Bada.
I agree.
If that's Twitch censoring you, that's totally cool. I don't mind those words, but when you start those kinds of discussions, that's just...
Yep.
Timeout. Because
Uh,
before that, as me was doing just fine. Then we
Either
go
way.
for weird comments. That's why the
Either way.
timeout. I'm just trying to clarify
But yeah,
for
like
people typing.
I think that one has to do with freezing the bridge at a specific point.
There you go.
Maybe he censored himself.
He did
did
censor
censor
himself.
himself.
That's why I wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure if it was Twitch do it. Like, I don't mind bad language. I just there's no point to the other discussion that was going on where he was asking us weird questions like that have no relevance to the things we're talking
Yes.
about because Kratos is a badass. So
And then yes, other than that, wowing.
wow,
I'm 73 now.
Yeah, I know you've caught up to our druids.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass you, Jared. So.
I know.
You
It's
guys
fine.
have a race.
No, it's not a race. I'm passing him. Well, between war mode being on
I know.
and between the recent fixes where they have lowered the experience for
Yeah.
60 to 80, I'm good.
Hmm.
I told you guys before I ran into
Yes.
people finally.
Have they been killing you?
The paladin did because he snuck up on me.
Are you saying a paladin had a successful sneak attack?
Well, the
on
problem
you?
is it's a flying area, so they can come out of nowhere.
They
and,
can literally just drop on top of you.
and he came and just started, and he stunned me. And
Yeah.
So wait, hold on.
I got a few shots in.
Turns off mount, lands on top of you while you're on
or
your
right
mount.
behind me. No, I wasn't even on my
No,
mount.
if you're questing, like you're running on the ground to go to like. The
Oh,
next
he was
thing,
flying and then
and
like.
so is my
and then
druid.
superhero landed on top of you.
The best part of
No,
my
he
druid
landed
is
behind me, and all of a sudden I got stunned. And
Yeah.
I looked around, and I'm confused because I don't know what's
the
attacking.
best part of my druid is one, I have flight form, so I'm a tinier bird. Like I'm not even on a mount on my guy.
Yeah.
I'm a bird, and you fly, and then I hit the button and I transform into a bear. And as I'm falling, I hit the button to charge. And if I'm close enough, I get no fall damage and just charge right into the guy.
That seems.
We are all in our 30s.
Yes. That seems a little unbalanced.
Well, so that's what world PvP is
You have to take that chance.
yes.
No.
once-
Like with a druid being able to.
Everybody
do
can kind of, as a hunter, if I jump off my mount and disengage before I hit the ground, same shtick.
I did. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We act younger most of the time too.
The second person I ran into, I was kind of the dick about it because he was fighting other people, and I waited till he was done. But I did not wait till he was.
Oh no, you don't have to wait till they heal.
No, because he was like this. I'm like, okay,
So you went in and finished the job.
Yeah.
twang. He tried to charge me or do whatever, and I'm like, no.
I had the
You
greatest.
finished the job.
I had the
pretty
greatest
much.
experience in Battlegrounds yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I was playing on my Paladin because my level 110s are kind of done until the expansion comes out. My Druid I can't play unless Brian's there because we're trying to actually get those
Sure.
guys together. So I'm on my Paladin playing. He got to level 30.
He's only like 22.
I know. You want to see power leveling, baby.
I have
I have a-
lower guys too. So.
I have all the armor that's got like the extra 5,
Oh, the
10%
heirlooms.
experience, all the heirloom stuff. So that plus war mode plus doing, like, I'm just.
I'm gonna get some heirlooms for my.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well. Ooh. Why, thank you. Thank you, Esme.
Thank you.
After we then switch in timeout. Thank you. Either way, I got into one battleground and one guy was super pissed because there were people in there with like out armor.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and my boots are still like the first boots I started with. My belt's the same belt I started with, but Battlegrounds evens you off.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of Battlegrounds is skill. Your armor and all of that stuff doesn't really do anything.
That's why I don't do well.
Yeah, it evens everybody off, so you kind of have to know what you're doing. Ask me. Either way, I got into one fight, and there was this one battleground where this one paladin and I pretty much kept meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
And we were both Retribution Paladins, and I kept winning every fight. It was like one of those things where you're just like, yes, I am the superior one of our class, because if you just use all the moves properly, you're going to do the more damage, stun him, heal, instead of trying to do extra damage unless he was right on the cusp, and then that last
Yeah.
smack to kill him. Like, you have to know what moves to use when,
Mm-hmm.
if it helps. I suck on my
Nice.
hunter, too. Thank you.
I'm essentially with a hunter. You gotta kite them.
Yeah, you have to be. I used to be so good at that, too.
I'm getting kind
Oh,
of. I think. Oh, the invisible water coming out.
It's not invisible.
There it is.
Yep, it'll start to disappear. Thank you.
But then last night I did run into someone again.
Oh yeah.
But this
Coffee
time,
water.
but this time I was I ran. I
regret nothing.
Once again, it was like the paladin where they could have hit
Mhm.
me, but like I was just handing in a quest and they landed right beside me or on top of me.
Yep.
They were on war mode and they didn't do anything. They handed in their quest and then flew off.
And that's kind of what I like about war mode, because it is that PvP sense of like, one, we're not on an RP server, so sometimes that is a part of the element. Is what were they?
A death knight.
But
They're
do you know what
higher.
race?
I can't remember. I didn't pay attention. I just saw class.
Because that's kind of part of it. Is like, as a Tauren,
Did I blend in?
maybe
Because I
like,
was standing by a
yeah.
elf.
But that's kind of the shtick. Is kind of part of it's RP. Like, we luck out being on an RP server. Is, you know, that Death Knight, maybe he was a specific.
Where's that other one? Now you remind me.
Like, maybe he was a night elf and he saw you as an elf and he was all like, oh, like, you know, we are kindred spirits. I will not attack you, because some RP people are like intense RP.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't pay attention to it.
And sometimes it's just the whole, you don't attack me.
They were
I
higher
don't-
level. They could have beat me up.
And maybe that's why they didn't either, because it's not
Not worth his time.
worth the time
Well, no,
or the
they-
challenge.
I was still like just 73. They were 76. So I mean, it would have been pretty even.
Yep.
But I think he probably
With that extra 3 levels, though.
stats.
With them stats.
And armor, depending on what you have and that kind of like. It can
Oh.
all...
But there was I totally forgot about that. Now that you said that, there was another time where I did run into a question mark guy, which I assume is 110 to me. Like I don't know what points I can see up to.
I forgot.
I think it's like a 20 level. isn't
20
it?
levels? Unless
So-
you're drunk, then it just shows you whatever number it wants to.
Yeah. But they were
Best
question marks,
effect
so they
in the
were
game.
way higher than me.
Yeah.
And I saw them to come in the kind of same area to quest, and they were helping another guy around my level
Yep.
doing it. I saw them. I feigned
Yes,
death
you fade
even before they saw me. I was watching because I have a 6-minute timer on
Yep.
my feigned death,
6-minute timers, you just lie there.
and I watched
Fake
them. I watched them do their questing.
Yes.
This guy,
Yes.
The games, the card games.
Yes.
everything.
Everything Pokemon
Yes.
is Tony.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Yes.
What is your favorite Pokemon game?
Yes.
All.
Yes.
Even the Pokemon like Ranger games and
Actually,
Mystery
yes.
Dungeons and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. They're your favorite?
Yes. They're not bad. I can play those.
Yeah, I watched them do their question.
Yep.
And they kind of went around where I was late, and then I saw the question mark kind of turned around, walk up to me, and I don't know what it's like in Faint Death seeing someone like that from another perspective.
Because don't you see? You just see a body and you just assume someone's running, right?
But even if I was dead, they would still be able to go over my body and say, "This is the name."
Yeah, they can see that, and if they click on you, you have no health when you feign death.
I don't know.
No, you don't. I can tell you right now, you don't have health
okay.
to them. But you can find out rather quickly if someone feigns death, because you can
them.
still click on them and press attack, and it'll attack them, which you
Really?
can't do on a dead body.
So I did that. They didn't care to do anything, and they walked away.
Did you see any emotes at the bottom?
No.
Oh, okay, because sometimes like maybe one of them poked you or something, like I know he's dead.
No, and so I am assuming, I'm just going to be fooling myself on this, that my Faint Death worked,
And it could.
and it totally confused them, and
Yep.
they just thought I was a dead body.
I think I get the visual of like. Do you guys know he's faking his death? No one. All right.
Well, I guess
And
I
they're just
assumed-
looking at you.
because there was dead bodies.
Really, man?
Yes.
There were dead bodies around, like dead enemy bodies, so I can't. There's no explanation for
One or
it.
two.
One.
Cool. Grey Ninja is there.
BrNN's pretty cool too. He's got his tongue as his scarf.
Squirtle is the best one, just to say.
They're all the
I
best.
finally got rid of a lot of my Squirtles.
Oh,
Ah.
blasphemy.
I kept all the ones with sunglasses because they're a pain to get rid of.
Yeah, you have to click the button twice.
Yeah, you do.
But
You wanna get rid of this
You can't
event?
mass select them.
You have to go into the actual screen and
Yeah.
it says, "Would you really want to transfer this event?"
Yes.
But you
They
can't.
do that with a Pikachu with the hat too.
But I did the mass one on the rest of them,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh, so many sunglass Squirtles. Never mind.
It's only about like 20 of them.
And I have enough room for the rest of my Pokemon, so it's really cool. Either way,
But
continue.
yes, that was
Yes.
my kind of WoW experience. I didn't really play much with you guys.
No, because
We
Brian
would
and
do
I-
dungeons, but we would jump really fast into them.
So on Brian and I's druids, we are tank and healer. So for him, he's like waiting half an hour to 45 minutes to get into a dungeon. We hop on, hit go, and it's like BRNN! Because there's a need for tanks and healers. So him being with us, he's the DPS in our group, and we find 2 extra DPS and go. So he was questing the other night, what, you had like 2 kills left to do?
I don't know.
Or something, like you were almost done and it was just, he's like, and Chris is like, do I have time to like hop out? And he's and he's like, never
I
mind.
had a hand stuff in. But I'm in Dragon Blight right now. I've worked everything pretty much to the west of the big tower.
Yep.
Quest-wise, I'm done. I'm just
yeah.
working east. I'm slowly getting to the point where I was before I quit ages ago. As soon as I see that cinematic, I'm pretty much, I'm there. And then, do they do the same thing with Cataclysm as they do with the Northern or Outland? They just send me a mail when I turn 80 and say,
You'll
You
either
gotta
get
go
a
help?
Yeah, you'll get a quest or something.
they'll just pop up and say, you gotta go help.
That or yeah, you'll get mail that goes like, come back to Stormwind and
Well,
tell
because
us
this
so
one
we can-"
was for Northern and
Yeah, that one
Outland.
was
It was choose which one you want to go to.
that one was a
and
very
then it's-
interesting way to, and that's just because they made it so you can level in either one. Like,
Yeah.
you used to have to do Outland then Northrend. Now you can just go to Northrend. You can
Well,
skip
because you
the
go through
second
too
expa-
quick
Yeah.
Outland, so.
Yeah, you can skip the second expansion. I mean, it's a junk expansion anyways. Looking at what they've done now, so they kind of just let you skip it. But
Yeah, I assume that they're going to do something quest-wise to get me into the Cataclysm.
yeah, they usually do.
Go to this place
Yep.
because the world is getting destroyed.
Yeah, if something's happened, report to
That has already happened, but not happened for you.
Well,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
because you'll have to report to Varian.
I'm Horde?
Oh, then you'll have to report to
Garrosh?
Garrosh.
Because he's technically in
Yep.
Northrend right now.
Yep. Brian's still playing Warcraft.
Get off Warcraft, Brian. But
Unless
yeah.
he was the guy we just banned.
No.
I know.
Yeah, and then continuing as Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nice.
Yeah. That's
Medieval Total War.
Yep, that's exactly the game I was thinking of.
Yeah, they made that. It's yes.
All
No,
the
he's
Total
just
War
saying he
games are
likes
made.
those.
Yeah, that's what he
Oh
likes.
yes.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
with
that
you,
game. Yes, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Where are you in the B99s?
They just it's their last case to work in Jake and Amy's with the puzzles.
That's her
Puzzle?
husband.
Is that her husband?
That's her real life husband.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
That's fantastic.
Where he's a puzzle guy and he's also a swimwear
Model.
model.
A
course it
swimwear
is.
model. Oh no, ugly emotion.
Charles is it's an ugly motion. You're jealous.
Yeah.
And then at the end, no. He has a friend. Goodbye. Go. I'll throw you out.
Charles is all like that's Charles's best emotion.
I do, and I've said this many times, how much Hitchcock and Scully are getting involved.
Yeah.
My Bear Lady.
Yeah.
Not My Fair Lady. It's
Well, in mine, this is how you're like.
no. Don't need to know.
But I do.
Uh,
I do. Want
You're right. You can hold in a fart.
Yeah. Oh, Hitchcock.
Just don't pick your nose. Don't pick your nose. Oh, he's just putting his hand over.
Oh, he's thinking. Yeah.
That was
So
so
not
good.
even a little bit offensive.
That was great.
Oh, such a good show.
Yeah, getting towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close.
It
It is that season.
Good thing there's a season 6 coming.
Good luck, yes.
The Doug
Doug Judy episode.
You show up every 12 months anyway, so
Yeah, I see. I run into him every 12 months or so.
You're going to be in a lot of trouble. It's like, can we just wait 12 months? Because he seems to keep showing up every year.
the
Self-referential.
negotiator.
So mad.
I've talked to 50 people. I've saved one.
I've talked one person down. I've saved.
I've saved,
Or
and
49,
only 49 are
49 have
casualties.
jumped. It's
What
like
a
you've only
save.
saved one person. Well, no, or you've only stopped one person from jumping. Well, no, technically they jumped, but they landed on someone and
And that
survived.
person died.
That
And that
person
person
died.
died.
That's not on me.
That doesn't count.
Uh,
Yeah, like the stupid stuff they do, but they still very competent.
They are, and I think that's the beauty of that
the interrogation
show is,
one was very
oh
satisfying.
my God, it's such a good show.
I don't know how. I when I was watching them, I missed that episode.
The guy in that episode,
Yeah.
the guest star, got nominated for an Emmy for that.
Did he?
I've seen him on other shows. Too.
This Is Us, I believe.
Yes, I think that's where he's from.
He's an Emmy award-winning actor for that show.
It was just so satisfying where
I've
they
seen him
finally
in
got
another
him.
show.
Yeah, me too.
Agents of Shield. That's where I saw him.
Mm-hmm. He's been in a lot. Yeah, he's been in stuff.
He's
but
in
yeah.
quite a few things,
Such a satisfying episode.
especially at the end with Jake.
Yeah.
I really love
I
this.
knew I did.
I love this job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I'll go back to work. I'll see you in a bit. Okay.
Yeah. Have a good night, and it's like, good morning, guys. It's like,
Oh.
oh.
All right.
And obviously, Gina's back from her maternity leave in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I let her talk to Gina first.
I love in that episode too how she's not quite back to form yet either, because like she does that
she
whole
was,
like
she was back before they were. She was back in the when where they were taking out the bandwidth.
yeah, that's the one I'm talking
That's-
about is where like that was kind of her first episode back, but that's where she's not quite back to Gina form yet because the song plays and they're all like what and she just disappears and you're like Gina,
That was
and then
great.
you see her like creep along the ground to the elevator.
Bye, Gina.
Yeah, my Gina, and you're just like she's not completely back yet.
Well, I do like how they turn the lights off and she's right there making fun of the guy. Oh, by the way, he pooped in the.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, what a show.
And then the rest of it was movies for me.
Cool.
Speaking of things I haven't watched, or I finally seen, was Frozen.
You've never seen Frozen?
Not till yesterday.
How do you
And-
feel?
I do like the twist on that. I wasn't seeing that with
It's
the kids.
It's
movie.
nice.
I
Yeah.
talk about seeing the twists all the time. I didn't see that with.
Okay.
All right, we'll still be here.
I didn't see that twist with Hans.
To be fair,
They hid that real well.
a lot of people are still pissed because like you don't see it coming because he's not that character until that part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in my mind, it's like he was just really playing it up.
But it makes sense. But his motives were
I never
like,
was
I'm
mad
the
at
12th
that,
in.
though.
I was never mad at that
Oh,
one.
no,
Like,
I'm not-
It just happened to be a plot twist. It was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm the
plot twist.
12th in line. I'm never going to be heir. So
Yeah.
the best thing for me to do is hit on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because just like the whole true love song and all that kind of thing, everybody's like, you know, when she turns her back, you think he'd be like, mwahaha, but every time she turns her back, he's like, ah. And I'm sitting there going, because
But he's
maybe he's
playing
being
it up.
watched and he's making sure he's
Yeah.
playing that role right up until
The bitter
now
end.
is my
The reveal.
the villain reveal.
But even then, if say both sisters died,
Yep.
would he be in charge?
Well, because he was left in charge.
Because she was told by the princess that you're in charge.
Yes,
He'd
but
still-
that
he
doesn't
would
doesn't
be
make him
in
a
charge.
king.
That
though.
was that was kind of his shtick, was he was left in charge, so
And so all he had to do is make sure the sisters were gone.
yeah.
We're busy.
We're s-
Brian,
We're still filming.
we have a thing.
We do a thing, Brian. Come
We're
on,
still
man.
doing it. Discord in if you really want to.
But yeah, it was actually nice to have a movie where I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that's nice.
Finally.
Yeah,
Nice.
and like I don't mind that they
got
hit
the
it.
songs over with pretty quick.
Oh, sorry.
I thought they were. Are you filming us?
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? They were pretty top heavy with the songs,
Yeah, and they kind of just
and then
trail
they
off. at the end.
let it go.
Ah!
uh,
Well, because it got to a point, I think, that movie where songs wouldn't have fit the tone.
maybe not.
Like you
Well,
could
they
have
kind of did. They almost kind of did. Like I haven't seen it, but
What?
Les Miserables, where they do the talking and they're singing, or there's like
Yeah.
they did that once in a while. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like this. Stop doing it.
They could have gone the route of like a Pocahontas, where like the song is deep, heavy, and not really like woo.
Yeah.
But they kind of did all the woo songs, and then you got the empowering, let it go, and then it was kind of just a movie.
And then I mean, there were songs in there with the rock people.
Rock
and
people.
you gotta
Trolls.
fix it. Does he pick his nose?
He's a fixer-upper.
Does he pick his nose? Have you seen him eat? I really don't know.
He lives with a reindeer, so really.
And he talks for the reindeer too,
I
which
love
was really
that.
weird. I mean, it was a good movie. Now I can finally tell the kids I've seen it.
Thanks, Brian.
Stop playing WoW.
Scrub?
Jeez.
What a scrub.
Jeez. Do you want to Discord? We can try Discording you in. I don't know how well that'll work, but
Magic.
Um, I also will stick with the Disney theme, I guess. Pete's Dragon,
how
the
was
new one.
that?
I've not.
I liked it.
That was Pete's.
I like it.
I didn't
I
hear
haven't
really-
seen the original, so I don't.
I didn't hear
know.
anything about this newer one.
It was good.
Like,
I like
negative
it.
or
I know.
positive?
I didn't hear anything
Negative or
about it. It
positive?
kind of just happened.
Yeah.
I find
Kind of like BFG.
Right. It was one of those movies where they're like, if we don't advertise much for it, people will know it's out there.
it's a Disney thing. People are going to go anyways.
Well, no, if they know, like, it's like The Good Dinosaur. If they know it's not going to do well,
What's advertising?
they barely advertise for it, and then once it's out and it's gone, you're kind of just like,
I thought it was good.
and that's kind of, yeah. Like
Like I said, I haven't
okay.
seen the original, so I have nothing to really compare it to.
The old one, from what I know of the old one, is like super Deliverance-esque.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the adopted parents are chasing after him in the
oh,
original
he is in
one.
the play. Hold on, let's see if we can
We can do this twice.
do this again. I have to user settings first.
But yes.
Keep talking.
Pete's Dragon.
Pete's
I mean,
Dragon.
I find Bryce Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, that's her middle name.
Is that
A
what
little.
the actress is?
It's yes.
Hmm.
She's the Jurassic World.
I'll just listen. I like listening to you. Fine,
Um,
fine, Brian.
I don't know. I find her when she's trying to be sweet to kids.
Yeah.
It seems awkward.
Mhm.
Like she did it in the Jurassic World 2, where she had to kind of sweet talk a kid. And she does it in this too. I don't
Does
know.
she,
it just,
is
feels
it like a
forced.
deliberate like awkwardness for her to do that?
No,
though?
because she's not. She's supposed to be sweet. Like
Because
person.
that,
kid is
that was
supposed
kind
to
of
come
her
to.
in Jurassic World. Where
Maybe
it was
that's the Jurassic World. It fits.
for
Maybe that's just Bryce Dallas.
I feel that's her.
So it was
just
properly
felt
cast for Jurassic World, but
it
not
felt-
for Pete's Dragon.
forced, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's
Ron Howard's daughter.
yeah. She was Gwen Stacy at one point.
Yep.
Oh,
What?
make up your mind. Do you want to talk or not talk?
Oh my god. Okay.
Go see it.
Is it
I think
on
it's
the-
worth a
is it
watch.
on Netflix?
Yes, actually it is.
All right.
All right.
That, see, how did that
Duly
maybe
noted.
that's a movie that we
Do they know? I do. I think I want to watch Popstar more first.
Pop Star's pretty
Go
good.
for it. This
It's
is
my
this is
Netflix.
more of a family.
This is not
Movie.
a
Now, let's say someone in my family does not like
Dragons.
dragon or dinosaurs.
It's a fuzzy dragon.
All right, that's kind of my shtick. Is like
It's
how,
a fuzz.
how,
And they even
how
said
friendly
the director
family
said
is.
that. I
Like,
kind of went through the IMDb stuff, and they wanted to make it more of a friendly dragon, not a Game of Thrones dragon where it's scaly and
dig it.
I don't know.
cold.
Dig it.
I don't know.
This
The
is a
difference is pretty
warm-
fuzzy.
This is a warm feeling.
I-
Oh,
Ryan,
yeah.
too late. Hello.
You're on.
Oh my god.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Make
Stop
up
it.
your
I'm
mind.
so sorry.
Pull up your pants. Let's do this.
It's a Brian.
Pull up your pants.
Hi,
Let's go.
guys.
Hello. Try talking again.
He is.
Testing.
All right.
I think they can kind of hear you.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, that or it's just a voice we're talking to.
Yeah.
I can't watch you guys at the same time though, because the video's a bit behind. Then I'll get confused.
I never had the
will
video.
get-
I never had the video on when I
Yeah,
did
I
it.
know. You can just talk to us. You can't. See
Yeah.
us.
I
Oh.
definitely don't have the video last time.
Call-ins for all the post-credit shows.
And then another movie I watched,
Yep.
Megamind.
You've never watched Megamind?
Oh my! Why do you just?
Megamind is such a good
It's
movie.
so good.
That one's not surprising to me. That one was man.
I enjoyed it. I didn't like the last 30 minutes of that film. The first chunk of it was real cool.
I thought it was a good movie.
I guess I just don't remember it.
It's very rememberable. That's the problem with
Unmemorable. Yeah, I guess
unmemorable.
maybe that's-
the
Very-
problem
very
about that
forgettable.
movie. It's
Yeah.
very forgettable, even though how as good as it really is.
Well, a lot of big actor.
Sure, that was Brad
Tina
Pitt
Fey,
and
Brad Pitt,
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, Seth
David
Rogen.
Spade, Dave Spade, David.
Seth Rogen?
No, David.
No, not Seth Rogen.
The fish. Dave.
Fish. The guy, the bigger
Fact
guy
checking.
from
Hold on.
22
Jonah-
Jump Street.
Jonah
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a solid cast.
Uh,
I think they. Oh, and the guy from Arrested Development, the fish,
oh, that's him. Yeah, no, I know.
David Cross.
See that? That's why I heard David. In my
David
mind.
Cross, Ben Stiller,
That's where's
Ben
Ben
Stiller?
Stiller's in that?
Bernard.
Oh, so he was okay. Bernard was very quick.
Oh yeah, his original sequence.
J.K. Simmons.
Sure.
It was a good film.
I thought it was
I thought
it was good.
That's kind of my opinion. It's
It's one of those movies that I'll watch every few years and be like, did I remember? Did I enjoy this movie? Those watches.
It's by the Minions people, isn't it? Or is this a DreamWorks one?
It's DreamWorks.
All right.
I thought about that after. I'm like, if this comes up on Saturday, I'm gonna have to remember this.
Good one.
Yeah.
The kid was fishing off the moon at the
It
beginning.
was,
That's all I got to remember.
and it was a weird.
That
twist.
bone is
It
next
was
to
like
my
a fly-
foot.
Yeah, they always try that with the kid and the fishing rod now, as they do different stuff.
Well, because
The
it was
dragons-
a short little fishing rod, and then he just kind of
Yeah.
and then threw it to the side, and it was a different fishing line.
Yes.
I don't know.
How to Train Your Dragons has Night Fury in the background.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then the last one was Equalizer 2.
You saw that in the theaters then.
I did see that in the theaters. I'm trying to think
Was
if
it
you saw the
Denzel
first one.
Washington, right?
Oh, Denzel Washington.
Yes,
Was in the, all right.
where he's a ex-government assassin.
Sure.
Very much like I'm an old badass, right? Kind of thing.
Yes, pretty much what it was. Is no one can touch him until the end, where he's just where he rolls over everybody,
Oh, yeah.
even the professionals, where he just rolls over everyone.
We just watched The Hitman. I mean, I've seen The Hitman's Bodyguard already. Like, we watched that one the other night, too. My wife keeps putting the weirdest movies on. That was kind of the same thing I felt with Samuel Jackson in that movie, is, like, at the beginning, he was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it goes
And then
on,
drops.
And then it goes on, he slowly gets more and more, like, stoppable.
well, like, and when I say he finally got touched, he got a cut across his leg, and that's
Oh, all right. So he was, like, almost, yeah, undone. Yeah.
pretty much
So what you're saying is that he's untouchable.
It's called,
No, he's
it's called The
Equalizer.
Equalizer. Yeah, Untouchables is already a movie.
That's what I was referencing.
But yeah, I found a little slow in parts.
Mhm.
I can't remember the first one. Apparently, that's exactly how the first one went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the villain has a hard time with the actor, I guess, with eyes. Because he's
What do you mean, like,
you
so
haven't
this
probably
eye-
got you haven't probably gotten to it in Game of Thrones from what you've watched.
Is it an eye
No.
contact thing or
Nope. Well, I'm sure you have probably seen it somewhere online where
no?
squish eyes slam,
Oh, you mean poking out eyeballs?
squishing
Alright.
the head so much.
Yeah.
I seen that sequence in Game of
That
Thrones.
actor that got his eyes, that's
Yeah.
the same villain for this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So he just doesn't like having eyeballs, is what you're trying to.
Yes, I guess.
What a sight for sore eyes.
What was it? I had something about that kind of shtick. I don't remember.
Squishy.
All this talk about eyeballs reminds me of another YouTube thing.
Are you talking about other YouTube channels on our YouTube channel?
No!
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Lupus the spider is so adorable, though.
Where are you? What? I
You
think
watch weird YouTube channels.
I think he's watching Annihilation right now.
No.
Comes
He's
with
wowing.
Comes with free
Yeah, he's
LSD.
wowing.
When you watch Annihilation, comes with free LSD.
Hey, Nee.
Hey.
Or German.
Hello.
Or whatever you want us to call you.
German.
Me German.
Talking about the Hitman's Bodyguard, like, you know how it's getting a sequel, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I think someone said it was getting
I
a
think it
sequel.
is.
Yeah.
I really want it to be called Bodyguard's Hitman. And it's a role reversal.
It could.
I'm looking forward to that being the title if it actually
It's pretty
is.
much, yeah.
The Bodyguard's Hitman.
But the Equalizer, too.
But yes, like, I mean, some of the guys in there that he had to fight against were ex guys he's worked with before. So they're you
know
think
it-
that
they
they're
know
at
his-
a person like they're at a
They
A
should
level
know-
that should be equal to
should-
his.
They know his
No.
moves.
they got pretty.
See, like, I think
Beat
that's what
up
I
real
like
fast.
about John Wick is he is built up as, you know, supreme badass who can, Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Ant-Man.
Baba Yaga!
I
You guys
feel
watched
like
Ant-Man finally.
we did. Brian still hasn't seen it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm sorry.
jeez, Brian. But
This
either
week?
way, yeah, maybe.
Mm,
I don't know. But yeah, John Wick built up that way, so when he just kills people and is good at it, you're like, yeah, because this is John
Yeah.
Wick. But when you have a character, it's like, well, he was
Well,
trained
no,
to
but
this.
they do say he is the best.
I get that, but if you have people that you were with in a unit, you were with them probably because they were also fairly good at their job. So it should be a little bit more of an
Should
even
be.
fight. That sucks.
Well, no, I mean it was a
Action-wise.
good movie.
Yeah, no, it's just that could have been a really good build up, you know.
Yeah, well, but I think a 50 or 60-year-old Denzel Washington
Sure.
so
can only
it's-
take so much.
And
But then
yes.
you go watch something like Taken or what's the Transporter.
Jackie
Transporter.
Foreigner.
Foreigner. Like it's these old badasses. What's his name? Liam Neeson. And basically any movie with Liam Neeson.
The one on the right has a point.
It's you. You have a you have a point.
Is Nick the one on the
I
right?
think so. I don't know.
Yes.
Yep. Why'd you keep entering World of Warcraft?
I keep booting me out. Sorry.
I'm just wondering more than anything. I think it's just more of it would have been like it's a good opportunity as a film to do.
Nick,
I am Nick.
I'm Tony.
Chris.
See?
Did we do the introductions?
No, we didn't. We did.
No, because they're in the. Oh no, we didn't.
We didn't
For
do
this
the
one.
introductions.
No, we didn't do the
We'll
introduction.
just,
At all
we'll just
today.
end it. We'll just end the show with introductions.
Yeah.
We'll just awkwardly do it.
Yeah, I'm Nick. That's Tony. That's Chris.
And then Brian.
And then Brian's the voice.
I'm
of
Brian.
Brian.
You may or may not be able to hear.
Hopefully,
I'm the voice in your head.
I'm
Brian.
concerned if that's the voice in my head.
Nick, Tony, Chris. Okay. So yeah, that's kind
It's
of
all
like.
about those badasses.
It's not that it makes it a bad movie. I think it just could have been a cool action thing to be like mid-boss
Where he
fight.
finally
So
meets
here's my
someone
here's my not a concern about the Equalizer and Equalizer 2. I don't view Denzel Washington as that.
But did you ever
figure.
view Liam Neeson as a...
Qui-Gon
Yeah,
Jinn.
yeah,
No.
yes, absolutely.
Not like that badass.
Like when I think of
But-
Denzel Washington, I think of him as like in a drama movie or like
Well, Training
not-
Day.
not but like not like a full action hero. Him being the centerpiece. I don't see him as that.
And Brian the Ghost. Brian, you're a ghost.
Yay. Yeah, like that's what I don't.
I'm
see
kind
him-
of with. Well, again.
I don't see him in that role. I just like I see Jackie Chan, I see Jet Li, I see basically anyone from the Expendables. Anyone from
Pick an Expendable.
Can you put Denzel Washington
You
in the Expendables?
You could now.
You think so now?
No, I think you could before.
I think so. I think
I don't
Training
know
Day
his
was
IMDb.
enough of a movie
I don't know his
to.
IMDb off the top of my
But
head.
Training Day's
I
kind
don't
of
know
old.
because I skip a lot of his movies, but
Is he not one of your favorite guys?
no, he's not one of my favorite guys.
All right.
I wouldn't say that he's my
So
favorite
Nick
guy,
is
but
never
like,
going to go see this movie.
that's just my piece. Is I don't see him in that action hero movie.
Training Day is the third movie on his IMDb.
Oh my
Yeah, because that's probably
Fences, Magnificent Seven,
yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. Like, that's
Still,
not.
this is
that's
after
not, that's
Equalizer.
Two
right,
Guns,
Right, but that's
Two Guns is an action one.
yeah.
But are it, like
Unstoppable,
he's an Unstoppable.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. But wasn't he like the guy in the
Yes, he was the
Yeah.
operator.
operator
like,
guy, not the action
yeah.
guy, right?
In
Yeah.
the Equalizer and Equalizer 2 specifically, he is the focal point. He's the center person.
Yes.
In which all action. Like I don't see that in with Denzel. That's just me. I don't know.
He agrees with you.
What?
Right. I think Denzel's biggest piece for me is I saw him in like, as I'm looking at his IMDb, like Remember the Titans and then Training Day, and he was always just like the shouty guy. Like, and then I forgot what movie I
I'm
saw.
not saying
him
he's
in.
a bad actor. I just don't see him in those roles.
But that's why I'm.
My first movie with Denzel Washington was Pelican Brief.
That sounds super exciting.
It was a really slow movie.
Yeah.
Like when I see
Maybe now I give Denzel Washington
I don't know.
another chance. I do that every
They're
once in a while.
not.
though.
They're not like.
no correlation is there.
They're not the greatest movie in the world. Both of them.
I would rather watch Trainspotting or Transporter or.
But see, that's my thing. Like when I don't like actors for like, because I find the times I don't like actors is when they are the same in every film.
But he's just a
I know, but maybe it's
a
different
very
enough.
quiet, very
Maybe
low
that's
demeanor guy.
Because every other movie I've seen him in, he's yelling at everybody.
He doesn't really yell.
See,
kinda need
maybe
to-
this is the chance
and
he
you kind
needs.
of need to be that stoic,
The
quiet.
only time he
like,
kind of
I'm-
raised his voice is when he was like, in his movies. He tries and sets people.
Hold on. Did anyone kill his
Right.
dog?
No,
Because when I think of Denzel, all I see is him like giving someone some kind of like I'm thinking like Remember the Titans when like you're doing the big speech at the end,
Yeah.
like the coach speech. That's all I get when I think of Denzel.
he
is
does
like
it
him.
at one point in the second one. I can't
Yeah.
remember the first one that well.
But that's all I can think of when I think of Denzel, and it's like so you're like Richard Gere. You just keep doing the same
Yes,
thing.
right. Richard Gere. That's kind of.
Julia Roberts is usually the same thing, and every once in a
Well,
while
and
she's
for
got
this,
a different
it was,
thing.
and when
Maybe
he
this
did it in
one
this
will
case,
give
he
Denzel a
was.
chance.
Do you really want to go down this path?
Yeah.
It's a bad path. I can tell you that.
Like as a movie itself, how is it like
It
Denzel?
fits the character because the character is trying to help everyone around him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in
Is
this
the first one on Netflix?
I don't think so.
All right. Either way, maybe I'll maybe just
well, in the
I'll
first
give-
one he was he worked in a home improvement store.
Yep.
In this one he's a Uber driver. Essentially,
okay.
it's not Uber, but it's
Yeah.
a type of driver.
Yeah.
And so he hears people's
He's a
troubles.
he's a rideshare driver.
When he hears people's troubles, and then
Lyft driver.
he's-
It's a Lyft driver.
Whoever paid the most money for advertising.
So it's his way of socializing and.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it, and that's I always feel bad on this show when I say I don't like actors. I don't like actors who do the same shtick. Like Andy Samberg, I say it's an Andy Samberg movie, but in Popstar he is a different character than he is in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Most things.
And in Hotel Transylvania.
I don't listen to music. And
What music do we enjoy? I am an eclectic taste of
Most
like
things.
My playlist
I'm
has
all
everything
over.
from Backstreet Boys to Psy to Deadpool rap to
yeah.
That's it.
Like,
You're sticking to the same kind of stuff.
I have
really.
I have folk
And then I have
music.
Styx on here.
I have folk music to rap music, like DMX rap music to.
A little bit of everything.
The only thing I really don't listen to is country.
Opera, blues.
I listen to blues.
I don't.
So
And if
I've
you
got-
listen to like R&B, then you're
So,
listening to blues music.
my
whether you like it or
the
not.
top couple songs on my playlist are Uptown Funk,
It is a diverse. Yes,
Renegade, Will 2K, Immortals, I Really Like You, True Survivor, Psy,
You don't need everything, Tony.
Eclectic
and
is what I usually say for my musical taste.
All Star. Like it's
People harsh on that song. I still love that.
Why?
I don't know because it's the Shrek song.
I know.
But
It's
the
a Mystery Men song.
Yeah.
It's totally the Mystery Men. It's the music video.
Yeah.
Like, how did people not know that?
Oh, I know.
Sure, rap is cool. I think. I don't know. I don't listen to rap. I don't listen to a whole lot.
Rap, it has to have like it can't just be spouting out.
Mainly rap is Eminem for me.
And Eminem, but
Yeah,
he was
I
one of
agree.
the best rappers.
He still is.
He is.
The Deadpool rap for me. Because
But
I don't listen
even
to rap.
like DMX, I will listen to some of his stuff. Eminem, and then every once in a while, like if I can't understand it, like if I can't understand lyrics,
Heavy metal.
really heavy grunge metal where they're just
Rah, rah.
I don't listen to because
You can't hear the lyrics.
I can't hear the lyrics. I'm a lyrics guy, I guess, more than anything.
I think that's why I kind of like the Deadpool rap.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun. The lyrics are genuinely funny on both of them.
But even like X Gonna Give It To You,
That's a good song.
it's a good song.
It's a good beat to it.
And
I have to.
Cradle to the Grave.
Yeah.
What's that
But
one?
that's
It's a movie.
yeah. But strong beat
But that's
mixed
song
with
is-
lyrics. Same with Eminem. Like
But his was also comedic rap as well. Well,
He's
his earlier
turned
stuff-
serious.
He has
He's-
turned serious, but his earlier stuff is what I.
I'm
No,
always-
he started out very dark.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
wasn't comedy.
Yeah.
It was very dark, and this is my life. Then he kind of went to.
yeah.
It's
He got
self-deprecating.
silly.
He got the Slim Shady persona,
Yeah.
and he started doing more goofy stuff. And then he kind of. He's
settled
not
back
dark
in.
anymore. He's kind of just.
Like lately on my Google, as we break into a completely different topic, but that's cool. We do that all the time. But on my Google Play, as I've been working on video stuff and redoing all the OBS stuff and all that, I've been listening to like I have my playlist, and then on Google Play Music, you can start the radio that's based on your playlist.
Yeah.
So it's and again, my playlist is eclectic enough where every once in a while I get a song and I'm like, why do you think I will enjoy this? So I've really started
Yeah.
thumbs up, thumbs downing a lot of stuff on Google Play, but I've been listening to a bunch of newer like things I haven't heard before.
Yeah, the
as
new
I
stuff
see.
is kind of.
And the new stuff I'm not into.
Cool.
Never heard of them.
Can't say I know who those are.
No, I can't say that. I hear things I shouldn't be hearing.
Cool. So Equalizer.
Yeah.
Well,
You can. Don't rush out and go see it. It's a decent movie.
I would rather want to watch John Wick 2 before I watch
Yeah,
Equalizer 2.
I would suggest that.
I am going to see Winnie the Pooh on Tuesday. That's a very
Christopher
different
Robin.
movie.
Christopher Robin.
Yes.